Cyraxx's horrifying history, full documentary.
We need to fucking talk about something, man. You've gone too far, and I mean too far. It's one thing to attack me. It's one thing to troll me. It's one thing to make a haha joke, very fucking funny. Oh, we had to share blah blah funny shit. This isn't a game, Marty. People's lives here, you sick.
Some people get the short end of the stick when it comes to genetics, and not all of them deal with it gracefully. Sure, congenital issues can account for some shortcomings, but how many? When does someone cross the line, and despite their defects, when can they be held accountable for their actions? A case study of this gray area is Ohio's very own Cyraxx, often referred to as the dollar store Christian or Asmongold's long-lost twin. Over the course of a decade, Cyraxx has gone from an aspiring musician to trying to stay out of jail for things like abusing his grandmother and sending some very unfortunate messages to people who definitely shouldn't have received them. So in today's video, I aim to answer the question.
Hey, hold on, bro, jingle like a sleep paralysis demon, bro. Bro, am I the only one that be having sleep paralysis like every month, probably 5 times a month, bro?
Question: who the hell is Cyraxx?
At this point, gang.
I don't know what that means. All right, go.
It 3 times a week, bro. It's only when I sleep on my back, bro. If I sleep on my sides and my stomach, I'm straight. But if I sleep on my back, bro, they gonna get me, bro.
Like many other lolcows, Cyraxx didn't just come about in a vacuum. If anything, he is the closest we've ever come to a purebred lolcow. Born Patrick Smith on September 20th, 1990, Cyraxx claims he was born at just 26 weeks, weighing only 1 pound and 12 ounces, with only 1 kidney and 1.5 lungs.
Wait, I didn't even hear that! Wait. What?
Weighing only 1 pound and 12 ounces, with only 1 kidney and 1.5 lungs.
Oh my God. Bro spawned in on Hall of Fame difficulty. Bro, what? How did he even make it, bro?
And with 1 blind, lazy eye.
No, wait, what?
At least in part, this is because his mother, Connie Lobdell, was herself challenged to some extent. Cyraxx's grandmother, Sally, claimed she was fully disabled, although it's unclear what that means, while his father described her as someone with ADHD and another unnamed condition. He specified that it took him 3 years to teach her how to drive a car, which suggests some degree of intellectual limitation. Many speculate he suffers from fetal alcohol syndrome, though due to Connie's potentially
his max overall 65
impaired condition, there's hardly any way to hold her accountable for that. His father, on the other hand, is a very different story. In 1994, Rupal Mark Smith, the original legal name of Cyraxx Sr., was arrested. While accounts on this vary, with Cyraxx himself saying his father went to jail the day he was born, the records available put his arrest at when Cyraxx would have been 3 or 4 years old. On July 26, a 4-year-old girl was an unknown man who...
Oh my God. So his dad is an EDP, bruh? Bro, what?
Chased her off a bike path for around 50 feet. According to a person who identified as the unnamed victim, he'd already been stalking her prior to meant it was premeditated and suggestive that he'd probably done something like this before. She gave a detailed description of her attacker and his blue 10-speed bike to the police, who prepared a composite sketch. When presented with photo lineups, the victim picked Rupal out of both of them. The sketch was then published in the local newspaper and ended up being seen by Rupal himself just 2 days after the attack. Fortunately, the intellectual acumen of the Smith lineage was already being exhibited, as Rupal decided to call the police himself and identify himself as extremely similar to the man depicted, only to say he wasn't responsible and had an alibi. Regardless, this was enough for the person taking his call to report him to their supervisor, leading an officer to be sent to where Rupal was residing. Upon arriving at the residence, the blue 10-speed bike was seen and exact to be sent to where Rupal was residing. Upon arriving at the residence, the blue 10-speed bike was seen, an exact match for the one that was at the crime scene. Once the officer
committing crimes on a bike is crazy.
Became more accusatory toward Rupal, his responses were incriminating. Apparently, while he didn't outright confess to the assault, he said something tantamount to an admission of kidnapping, dragging the victim across the road against her will. After that, Rupal asked for an attorney, but what he said at that point was enough for an arrest and trial, during which a jury convicted him of kidnapping. He attempted to appeal his convictions, but ultimately failed and had to serve a total of 20 years in prison. This is relevant because it meant that, with Rupal out of the picture due to his arrest, and Connie being unfit to care for a child due to her disability, someone else would have to raise Cyraxx. That someone ended up being his grandmother, Sally, who moved Patrick out of Alaska and into her humble home in Akron, Ohio. Oddly enough, Sally had been in a strange Patrick out of Alaska and into her humble home in Akron, Ohio.
Akron, Ohio. Wait, ain't that where LeBron was born? Bro, not what type of... Bro, what? Bro.
Oh.
Wait, when's Curry born there too, bro? Why are legends... Well, he's not a legend. He's not a legend. Why are so many legends coming out of Akron, Ohio, bruh? What is it about Akron, Ohio?
Oddly enough, Sally had been in a strangely similar situation to that of Rupel's, only on the receiving end. As we can learn from an
legend for all the wrong reasons? Yeah.
article in a local Alaskan newspaper, Rupel's father, and Sally's first husband, is a man named William Bill Smith, born in 1941. According to public records, Sally was born in 1952, and Rupel was born in 1969, meaning she was when she had him and just she got married to Bill, who was 25 years old, the exact same age Rupel had been when he committed his crime. What's worse is that Rupel had older siblings, though records on how many are difficult to find. We know that at least one of them was also named Bill, who ended up simultaneously suffering from AIDS and cancer until he passed away in
Bro, what? What type of combo?
2015. Just so you know, when I say Cyraxx is a purebred lolcow, I mean generations of extremely unfortunate circumstances have coalesced to bring him forth. Via newspaper clippings of one of Sally's brother's obituary, we can determine her maiden name is Arnson, but when she took Cyraxx,
the whole family, it sounded like he was destined to be the way he is, bro. He already spawned in with horrible stats. Then his parents ain't no better. Then he moved to Akron, bro. It's just a terrible first years of life.
and to raise him, she was married to another man named Gordon Wilkins and took his last name, so she decided to rename Cyraxx accordingly, calling him by the name he went on to use for the entirety of his life.
This is Chance Finley Wilkins talking to Nicholas Beagler. What you fail to realize, Nick, is that I made you.
From Patrick Smith to Chance Wilkins, from Alaska to Ohio, Cyraxx wasn't even 5 and was already undergoing some radical transformations. In his recollection, he had a very rough time at school, with people bullying him and giving him swirlies due to his appearance.
I was supposed to die the day that I was born. And when I was born with 1 kidney and 1.5 lungs. And, you know, growing up through school, you know, I did get picked on. I got bullied way more than most. I got judged, you know, I got beat up every day. I was that kid that was an outcast in high school.
But, as we will learn in full detail, Chance isn't an entirely reliable narrator, since contrary to his claims, it seems he did indeed have friends during his school years. In an interview with Elspeth, a friend of Cyraxx's from high school, she said,
"We met quite literally in high school. We had a mutual friend in common, and that's how we met."
According to Elspeth, Chance and his group of friends bonded over their interest in dancing, so much so that she herself is a trained ballet dancer. She recalls an instance where they both performed a piece called The Dueling Dancers at the school's talent show, but unfortunately there's no footage of this event. When they weren't at school, they usually met up and hung out at the house of their aforementioned friend, Billy Seiler. Billy was a short, legally blind African-American student, and Cyraxx described him as a closer friend than the rest of the group. After all, Billy was the one who introduced him to Linkin Park, one of Cyraxx's favorite bands. Months before any of his followers investigated Cyraxx's story with Billy, Cyraxx spontaneously brought it up, saying,
"Unfortunately, when I was old around that time period, I was actually by one of my best friends from high school. Now at the time,
Bro, this lore is getting crazy, bro. We only 6 minutes in, gang.
I didn't know that he was gay. I had actually met this kid. His name was Billy Seiler. We had gone to the same high school together. And me and him grew really close. We were super cool with each other.
This is quite a claim to make, especially to bring it up as lightly as Cyraxx did. This was enough to rouse suspicion, but as time went on, the situation only worsened. In another retelling, Cyraxx mentioned that his family spoke to the school about what Billy supposedly did to him, and the school responded by kicking Cyraxx out so it wouldn't happen again.
They know.
Wait, what? Somebody touched me, and I'm the one that gets kicked out? School overly bugging.
What Billy did, that's why they removed me from that school, so it didn't happen to me again.
Though this isn't impossible,
Wait,
it
what?
sounds unlikely that the victim of such a circumstance would be the one getting kicked out of the school. Worse yet was the fact that Cyraxx originally claimed to have been when this took place, but he only changed high schools after 2009, when he would have been 19, meaning the time frame doesn't really add up. This discrepancy was confirmed by Cyraxx himself, who later changed it and said that, while Billy was underage, he himself was not.
Cyraxx, how are you not so pissed though at that school? I think it's insane. You should have never been expelled.
We tried, and that's the thing. That's the thing. We tried to fight it, but due to the fact.
Wait. He was 19 in high school? Wait. What you mean by that?
That he was
They said that?
underage, and I was
Oh my
overage.
god, dude. I don't understand that. That's fucking bullshit.
People became suspicious and sent Cyraxx at
He was in a special program. Cause you know how like, bro, you know the kids in special program. I don't think they have to leave high school till they're like 21. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
already given this person's name out. They decided to look further into it.
One rule in his lore is Cyraxx lies, so he's capping by that.
The information was enough to find Billy's Facebook and contact him, informing him of what Cyraxx claimed happened during high school. Once contact was established, what Cyraxx allegedly did to Billy became a matter of public knowledge.
So we were up in my room, it was late at night, probably 1 o'clock on a weekday. When it gets hot, guys tend to take off their shirts and everything. I was either on my belly on the floor, or I think I was searching for something, and the next thing I know, and at this point, I had never given any type of consent whatsoever.
This all but confirmed in the eyes of many that at the ripe age of either 18 or 19 years old, Cyraxx had assaulted a disabled. What a great way.
Wait. So Cyraxx did it, not the dude? So that's lie number one, bruh. That's lie number one off rip, bro.
Way to start the story. We have little to no information on what else Chance was up to during the 2000s, but we do know what his family was up to. His mother,
he assaulted someone in his sped class. Boy.
Connie remarried in 2002 and was living with a man named Michael. But just a few years later, in 2007, she tragically passed away while using a wood with a man named Michael. But what his family was up to. His mother, Connie, remarried in 2002 and was living with a man named Michael. But just a few years later, in 2007, she tragically passed away while using a wood stove that didn't have proper piping, and because of this, it resulted in a house fire. Perhaps adding to the tragedy was the fact that she passed away on Cyraxx's birthday. A little over a year later, the house Sally was living in with Chance was broken into, though there's no way to know if the perpetrator was ever found. In late 2009 to early 2010, Cyraxx created his first ever YouTube channel, but it was nothing to write home about besides a few AMVs he made with freeware, and definitely stole from other people's content while doing so. The years of 2010 and 2011 were mostly uneventful, though Cyraxx made a few Facebook posts that contributed to the notion that he wasn't as bullied as he said he was, since he had multiple girlfriends during this period. He also shows his funnier side with jokes such as, Santa, ho ho ho, me. Damn, Santa has 3 hoes? What a man whore. One at a time, and they better get paid extra. You so fat and old, nasty. It's only in 2012 that things get intense with Cyraxx abusing his grandmother, Sally, in a document retrieved via the Freedom of Information Act, because yes, his followers are that dedicated. We have information on every time the police have been called in relation to Cyraxx's house, and on the 14th of February, a domestic fight was reported by Sally's brother, William Arnson. Chance is described as out of control and fighting with his mom before leaving the house and walking toward the freeway. It appears he attempted to choke or strangle his grandmother, but fortunately the report cites no injuries and no weapons. To this day, we don't know what exactly this was about or what happened, but we do have this mugshot to make up for it. In 2012, we have the first significant bouts of online activity from Cyraxx, who at this time went under the name of DJ Shadowblade, which he misspelled a variety of ways. One of these early manifestations was his war cry.
Bro.
Supposedly, this was him beating Chester Bennington's record of longest scream, though what Chance did here hardly qualifies as a scream, more of I don't know. Sounds like me when the drive-thru takes longer than 3 minutes. A year later, despite being a whopping 23 years old and still in high school,
Wait, what? I thought the kick out age was 21. Why is you 23? Bro. Get out! What did he, bro, nah, bro, he should have been gone, bro.
we have a couple of videos from this time period, wherein he's doing basic parkour moves like handstands and wall jumps. Cyraxx claimed he had a GPA that...
Yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I know we about to get into some of his disgusting lore, but he seemed like he was one of the cool, yeah, I know he's always that one cool dude in the sped class in high school that y'all hoop with and just hang out with, bro. He seemed like he was one of those, bro. But then I don't know what happened.
It was just a couple of points short of 4.0 and was at the top of his class, but they didn't allow him to graduate because he didn't have a perfect 4.0 GPA and was too ugly to graduate, so he eventually got
Wait, run that back.
period, wherein he's doing basic parkour moves like handstands and wall jumps. Cyraxx claimed he had a GPA that was just a couple of points short of 4.0 and was at the top of his class, but they didn't allow him to graduate because he didn't have a perfect 4.0 GPA and was too ugly to graduate.
Bro, here we go. Bro, they did not say that to you, bruh. Bro, they did not tell you it was too ugly to graduate, bruh.
So he eventually got kicked out of the school altogether. Another claim of his was that in this school, he was also severely bullied to the point where a bunch of students pushed him from a balcony. This, too, appears to be a lie, as explained by his aunt, who gave an interview explaining what had happened.
It was lunchtime, and these kids dared him that he couldn't jump something from the balcony.
The backflip. Okay, hold on. I had a question about this. After certain head injuries, like, people fucking have dramatic personality changes at times. Do you feel like after the fucking head injury, like...
What head injury? He didn't hit his head.
He smacked his head off he was like on the second floor when he did the backflip. It was like off the second floor.
He didn't hit his head. He landed on his side and broke his arm.
You see, in order to cover up from having taken a dare and stupidly jumping off of a balcony, he made up a fake story about the other kids having pushed him off of it. He went as far as lying to the police and actually accusing the other students of having done it, but when it turned out that he was lying, he was promptly expelled from the school, and his GPA being below 1 probably didn't help. In his later videos, he enjoyed telling this story as the source of his inexplicable talent, as if hitting his head on the concrete, which he didn't do since he landed on his side, made him into a musician. As is proven by his very own early uploads, this is a lie since he was already in the music grind, and particularly in the Juggalo scene as early as 2012. One of his earliest uploads still up on the internet has him long-windedly complaining about how strict and rule-oriented the Juggalo community was. This is most likely due to the fact that Cyraxx only feigned to be a Juggalo in order to be a part of the community and find friends, but had no idea what being a Juggalo was about, didn't listen to ICP or any artists related to them, and this was eventually proven by Juggalos who decided to quiz him on his ICP knowledge.
So I was just curious, what was your first album that you got into the clowns?
Believe it or not, dude, it was probably, I'm trying to think. I want to say either Jekyll Brothers or Riddle Box. I can't remember which one it was that got me in.
So what did the cover look like?
Really, dude? Do you know how many years it's been since I've listened to that shit?
Still, it didn't prevent him from claiming he was in the family in the past decade. How dysfunctional do you have to be in order to struggle to meet the criteria for a Juggalo? The only community with lower standards than theirs is probably...
Bro, alright, bro. There's no way this is Cyraxx, bro. Bro, there's no way he ended up joining the furry community, bro. What is he going to every length he can just to fit in, bruh.
Probably furries. No offense. Just saying. Well, very community with lower standards than theirs is probably furries.
Oh, no. Never mind. He didn't.
No offense. Just saying. While very little has been archived from this era due to how frequently Cyraxx deletes everything he has online, only to make a new account with a different name the following day, judging from his very old and empty LinkedIn page, he claims to be a part of a Juggalo record label called Killa Clown Sounds ever since May of 2009. As we can learn from his Facebook, his only prior occupations were abstract artist and painter at C. Wilkins Art, and, soldier's son. Given RuPaul's state of affairs, it's clear this is talking about Sally's husband at the time, Gordon Wilkins, who gave Chance his last name. Once again, deferring to his Facebook posts, he claimed to have dropped his first album, Blood on My Hands, in 2010, under the name of Kid Darkness. It looks like his sister was responsible for getting him into contact with the owner of the label, Eric Scrubolo, who signed Cyraxx out of pity. A little later on, it seems Chance also did a brief stint as a Christian rock artist, and if this poster is anything resembling genuine, he performed somewhere. I really wish we had footage of this stuff, but in compensation, we have Cyraxx expressing his religious fervor in his very unique fashion. I swear, man, I wish I could give that no-good Satan and his demons a piece of my fist and foot in their mouths and shut them up for good. In a comment he left under this post, he also seems to believe that God killed the devil at some point. I'm not sure if that's in the Bible or if it's in his head.
No, you Sam the devil, God killed a oh my God.
Canon, but for a man as devoted to Cyraxx, I won't be the one to cast doubt on his theological knowledge. In another post from this time, he lamented his lack of success in the music industry, saying, "My name is Chance Wilkins, I'm 21 years old, with my mom working 2 days a week waiting tables in a little restaurant, and it's still not being enough to fully get by on bills, and me going through many hardships in life, I decided to do something to help all that. So I decided to get into music, and many people have judged me because I auto-tune my real voice to make it sound better, but I don't care, I still keep going, and I always will. I don't ask for much, I just ask for my dream to come true so I can help my family." Kind of a sweet message, actually. It must have been really stressful to carry his family on his back, since it's during this period that he begins developing his infamous skullet. He was convinced he was going to get paid up to $5 grand and that he'd be in every music magazine, but unfortunately this never happened. Even before people were actively trolling him with fake promises of fame and fortune for his music, Cyraxx proves to truly be one of a kind, as he tricks himself into these delusions for no reason without any outside interference. audience. Another of his uploads from 2012 is a video called Inside the Shadows, which has Cyraxx giving an unrequested tour of his house to his non-existent audience. It's very aptly named since the lighting is horrid and you can barely make out what he's trying to show you. While the majority of content this early is completely—
Whoever just said I'd lick his dick, yeah, go ahead and ban him. What do you, bro? What are you talking about, bruh? Yo, do I have any mods in chat? Yeah, yo, W Mike, bruh. W Mike, bro. What is he? What?
Lost and most likely rotting in the cursed confines of Cyraxx's hard drive, we do have an archive song he worked on. Given his slurring drawl is nowhere to be heard during the track, and the beat sounds like if you converted a brain hemorrhage into an MP3, we can presume he was the producer. Check it out for yourself.
Party, 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 party.
The smell of it is— the smell of it is— In August, he claimed he was working on an album with fellow Juggalo rapper Spitfire the Twisted Killer, who doesn't seem to actually exist. In early 2012, it appears he either was or wanted to be involved with a girl named Hannah, as we can see in a post of his where he apologizes to her for some unspecified wrongdoings of his, and performatively says she's the reason he didn't do something drastic the night prior. This appeal wouldn't stick though, and a while later, he not only starts dating, but supposedly gets engaged to a new girl named Heather, who appears to also be very into Juggalo culture and works on music with Cyraxx under the name of Shadowcat Hashlet. The names are so fire. In another music-related post, Cyraxx posted what he calls lyrics, but given it was decently formatted and didn't have a typo in every other word, it's obviously a ripped poem from a guy called Mark Slaughter, which we know because he forgot to take out the copyright notice at the bottom. It's clear he was very invested in his Juggalo phase, but didn't know exactly how to express it. For example, in one post where he shared a picture of a little girl with progeria, his way of being nice to her was saying he considers her a juggalette. But music wasn't the only artistic venue of Cyraxx, as in late 2012, he announced he was working on a manga series called Spectorbs, which was going to release in early to mid 2013, which did not happen. As time progresses, Chance becomes increasingly erratic. Perhaps because he learned the absolute basics of how to make music, it gave him an unrequited ego boost he had no idea how to handle. But early signs of the behavior he eventually became very well known for also started to show. We have this early 2013 clip of him addressing someone who apparently insulted one of his friends.
Talking all this crap and shit. This guy seems to think I'm hiding behind words, but I'm not. You hear that, Aaron? I'm not hiding behind anything, little man. You want a little man? Look at you. You're nothing but a punk-ass baby. Hiding behind his own damn words, just too afraid to stand up to me like a real man.
Anyone with decent online experience knows there's no greater waste of time than engaging in keyboard warriorism, not to mention the fact that people who are belligerent online tend to be trolls that you stand nothing to gain from interacting with. But obviously this is hard to explain to Cyraxx. However, where a typical person sees a waste of time, Chance sees an opportunity to act like he's a
Like, bro, who is he feeling like? If you step to one of us, you better step to the whole crew? Get out! Bro, what?
WWE wrestler whose gimmick is talking
I know Akron, Ohio is the hood, bro, but
like he just came out of a sludge puddle in the middle of a trailer park. From the get-go, it's very clear he gets a kick out of making threats of violence and pretending he can beat up people or
But in my head, bro, no, chat, no. I may look calm, but in my head, I blanked you 3 times. Let me guess, you also be seeing red? Because I don't want to get on your bad side. Like, Cyraxx, who are you genuinely feeling like, bruh? Like, hey, posting this on Facebook is crazy. And fake demon, like, come on, bruh.
Them. Still, no matter how unlikable he gets, he keeps finding his way into new girlfriends, and by 2013, we finally get to see the face of Heather. Her first appearance is in a video he published on the very first day of 2013, where he announces he's abandoning the Juggalo lifestyle, but emphasizes he's still a part of the family.
Like, we're not going to stop being friends with any of the Juggalos, and that if you guys still want to be friends, that's cool, but we just dropped the lifestyle.
Exactly. We didn't drop the family itself. It's the lifestyle itself that we drop.
Chance is very keen on giving himself an air of sophistication and seems to very consciously imitate the kind of statements and manner of speech that actual artists exhibit during interviews, as if mimicking the way they talk is an effective way to become famous himself. Anthropologically speaking, it's fascinating to see a guy act out what is tantamount to a cargo cult of these celebrities he follows in real time. A little while later, Chance publishes another video, this time apologizing for having thrown the dog tags from his record label, Killa Clown Sounds, into a lake.
When we did the whole thing with the dog tag.
Bro, like, chat, how would y'all say y'all was her dad, right? I don't know if she has one. I'm just assuming she does, right? Your daughter bring home Cyraxx for dinner. What's your first reaction, bro? She bring him home saying, Dad, this is my boyfriend, bro. Licking toes and dick. Man, what? Bro. Fella, what are you talking about, bro? Licking toes and what? Disowning immediately? Yeah, I be looking crazy too, bro. Getting slimed out with the gut. Oh, yeah. Damn. Bro, there's no way I'm letting this dude walk in my house, bro. I'm not even letting him breathe my house's air. If I'm being honest, bro. He can't breathe in none of my AC, bro.
It's because we were pissed off. We didn't know what the hell to do. We were only doing like my mom wanted us to do. She came up with the idea to throw him into the lake, and at the time it seemed like a good idea. And honestly, we regret it, man.
Once again, I have to give some special attention to the cinematography. First off, if you pay close attention, the sad song from the ending of early Naruto episodes is playing in the background to accentuate the emotion of Cyraxx's apology. Secondly, he also has Heather ominously hovering around in the background to back him up, probably because he thinks having his girlfriend present makes him look cooler and legitimizes the things he says. He also subtly blames Sally for giving him the idea of throwing the dog tags into the...
Somebody said he look like a SpongeBob close-up, bruh. Nah, that's genuinely disturbing, bruh. If you know, bruh. Nah.
Lake, as if he had no choice but to follow her advice. Not only does he neglect to mention why exactly they threw it in the first place, but he claims he's family with Eric and that he's the only reason they made it this far, despite the fact that Cyraxx has not made it anywhere, let alone somewhere far from his starting point of literally living in his grandmother's basement. Chance nonchalantly moved on from the situation and resumed his typical posting, with gems such as his live stream wherein he schizophrenically plays the piano and calls it classical composition.
What type of, bro? Why he low-key talented though, bro? I thought he's gonna play some BS though.
Beautiful. However, much later down the timeline, people decided to look further into Cyraxx's departure from Scrubbalow's label, only to discover what he was actually dropped for.
I've known him for close to maybe 10 years. And to be honest with you, in the beginning I felt bad for the guy. And he was trying to be a DJ, and I'm like, okay, man, well, I mean, I kind of feel bad for you. If you listen to my songs, you hear me shout out to Blade.
Yeah, he goes by Cyraxx now.
Yeah, that was stolen from me. I was gonna release an album called the Cyraxx Complex. He used to go by Virus, which was also stolen from me. I don't know, man, he stole like 10 of my songs.
Jesus Christ, he just steals everything, right?
Yeah.
Besides these events, 2013 was a remarkably vacant year for Cyraxx, especially in regard to his social media activity. His Facebook has just a couple of posts. Apparently, after his departure from Killa Clown Sounds, he was then a member of another music group called Redcon 1. The last honorable mention of 2013 is another police report of a fight which Sally called in, though it took place much later in the year and we have no way of discovering what it was about. In 2014, we have relatively few actual posts on his Facebook, but plenty of changes to his profile and background pictures, with doozies such as this Second Life character with some kind of lyrics to the side, and what seems to be a superhero character created by Chance called Red Phoenix. He also uses one of those free Yu-Gi-Oh card making websites to make cards for a bunch of new metal and emo bands. And while he continued to be associated with Redcon, he now titled himself as an anime illustrator and author for a series called Rinmaru Highlander, which doesn't exist. In one of his few archive posts from this time period, he claims to be an American soldier, which is something he adopted on account of his adoptive father, Gordon, as he was retired from being in the military. In May of that year, he began a new video series called Gamer Madness Monthly, which he never continues. In his first episode, he announces he will be working.
A dude like this, bro, if he ended up like becoming like a streamer, bro, I feel like everybody would have watched him.
Working on a horror game called Possessions that will somehow simultaneously play like Resident Evil, Call of Duty, and Halo. In the same time frame, he posts another video complaining about the zero tolerance laws on fighting. I'm actually not sure what he's talking about here, but the gist of it is he's lecturing the then President Barack Obama on why the law needs to be changed so that people can defend themselves. I think this is a case of Cyraxx trying to chime in on a political topic, but misinterpreting
Cyraxx wants to be able to fight.
What he was trying to talk about. This is very rich, since were it not for the fact that he was so visibly challenged, Sally could have charged him with assault for trying to choke her out a couple of years prior. A few months of silence go by, and finally, we get to hear what Cyraxx sounds like when he's rapping. As you can see from the cover, this was a song done in collaboration with an unnamed third party in a group called Underground Assassins, and I'm guessing this other guy is responsible for the new metal screaming that shows up for a few seconds in the middle of the track. What's also noticeable is the creative liberties Cyraxx takes, such as saying the gamer word every other line, sometimes more than once in a single line. Not that we should have a problem with that, considering Cyraxx is from
What they mean? Wait, hold on. The what word?
What's also noticeable is the creative liberties Cyraxx takes, such as saying the gamer word every
What that mean, bro? What's the gamer word? I mean, if it's TOS, don't say it, but what that mean?
other line, sometimes more than once in a single line. Not that we should have a problem with that, considering Cyraxx is from the hood.
Oh, he's saying the hard R? That what you mean?
And he does represent. His vocals seem sped up to fit in the track, which is strange because they still aren't anywhere in the vicinity of being on time. And it should also be noted that once again, this is all done over a Linkin Park beat. On the same day the track went up, Cyraxx also uploaded the first episode of a new series called Underground Show. And, surprising absolutely no one, it's the same as all of his other shows where he just kind of films himself with a handheld camera in a dark basement. Besides showing the art pieces he had made out of what looks like plastic beads, he explains that his intention with this series in particular is to review things from the 90s or even before, from TV shows to video games. A few days later, he dropped a cover of the Linkin Park song Burn It Down, except he does grindcore type vocals instead of actually singing it. A Juggalo song was uploaded as well, but the vocals don't sound like Chance and the beat sounds too normal to be one of his, but it is mysteriously pitched up, so maybe that's his contribution to the track. 2015 rolls around, and the first half of the year is pretty much silent on his end, perhaps because in April of that year, Chance got involved in a physical altercation that resulted in him being slammed against a stop sign and allegedly hurting his back so bad he required emergency services to pick him up. It's unknown whether he ended up spending time—
Bro, wait, hold on, bro. Hold on. Bro, we are not gonna act like stop signs are just on the floor. Like somebody somebody picked him up and threw him at the stop sign. Cause it's one thing, do they mean the stop sign or the pole? Cause bro, the stop sign is it's 6 feet in the air, bro. I'm saying, you know how high up you gotta be, nigga fighting Hulk? How you get slammed up against a stop sign? That's crazy.
at a hospital due to his—
Wait, how much y'all think he weighed? He is kind of skinny. And he is missing. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm surprised he's still alive. Bro, he's missing a lung. Missing a lung, missing a kidney. I would think one slam would end his life. He might just be invincible, bro.
Injuries, but getting beat up definitely deflated his ego, as during this period there are no talks about beating people up coming from Chance. In a Facebook post made months after, he resented the police for not catching and arresting the man who beat him, as well as claiming the incident misaligned his spine and caused him to live in a continuous state of pain, despite the doctors who checked him out saying nothing was broken. By October, he had once again taken up the mantle of professional music producer, selling beats he had made for $1 a pop. Quite the steal. However, probably because none of the beats sold, he became quite upset and
10 beats for $10. Man, you don't keep them $1 beats, bro. Them Dollar Tree ad beats. Yo, man, you know what's good, gang?
Considered giving up on music altogether, saying, "I hate to say this, but my work as a music artist is done. I know I'm gonna upset and piss a lot of you off, but the music world is not where I belong anymore. I don't have the talent I used to have, and I'm sorry for those of you who I'm going to upset with this post, but my future lies in doing my artwork. As of this moment, I am done with music for good. Again, I'm truly sorry for those of you I'm going to make mad and upset, but please try to understand my point." His grandmother chimed in to say that the reason he was upset was that he got judged for his music, but a much more likely explanation is that Chance has a very low attention span and doesn't seem capable of committing himself to something over a super long period of time. Proof of this is that he doesn't even commit to giving up, as just a few months later, he was publicly considering remaking a previous album of his, which, by the way, doesn't seem like it was ever properly made in the first place. In November, he attempted to play League of Legends, only to discover that going AFK during a match gets you suspended. Fortunately for him, his interest in League of Legends was still not enough to prevent him from somehow getting yet another girlfriend, a girl named May. Though, judging from her Facebook URL, that was probably just an avatar name. Onlookers are continually amazed by the fact that Cyraxx is able to pull these girls. And honestly, I don't really know how he does it. I guess he just has riz like that. After all, if we acknowledge his home state...
Wait, what was that?
Fact that Cyraxx is able to pull these girls. And honestly, I don't really know how he does it. I guess he just has riz like that. After all, if we acknowledge his home state...
Damn! Why they unsub from Turkey Time mid screen recording?
Never mind. In November, Sally made 2 calls to the police to report a suspicious black vehicle parked outside their home, but there's no way of knowing what this was about. Meanwhile, Chance is up to his usual shenanigans as a little while later, a tragedy takes place in the city of Akron. A man named Zach Hussein is shot in a pizza parlor, prompting Chance to make a plethora of posts calling the man his brother and good friend, although there's no evidence he even knew this guy.
Bro, first thing first, RIP this dude genuinely getting his life took at the pizza shop. Bro, he's like a clout demon, bro. Imagine seeing somebody die in the news and say, "Yo, bro, that's my cousin." Like, man, what are we doing, bruh?
Most likely, Cyraxx was trying to ride the coattails of the news, so much so that his way of mourning Mr. Hussein was to start making custom car designs in what looks like Second Life, with the guy's face and name plastered all over them, no less. He went as far as to open a Facebook page called ZNC.
What did they do? Return? Oh yeah, he got timed out for his meal. I saw him eating a bowl of beans, and I said, you know what, bruh? You just need a day to reflect.
Customs, with the ZNC standing for Zach and Chance, and it's very likely there was no approval whatsoever for this to be done. And with this wonderful image as his profile picture, we closed 2015 off as the calm before the storm. In January of 2016, he announced the creation of an anime-style punk metal band, and just a day later, he said he would be developing a video game for mobile devices. On the exact same day, he took it back in another post saying, "I have some saddening news. I know many of you were looking forward to me bringing back a few games, but due to the stress level of the programs I am making them into a manga, which will be released within the next few months. I am deeply and terribly sorry for the upset this may cause for some of you, but I feel as if making them into mangas will be much easier for me to do and less stressful. It's becoming needless to say, but neither the mobile games nor the mangas were ever made." Also on the same day, he puts up a post for the sale of a thumb drive for $50 via PayPal, containing 40 custom art pieces, 10 custom 3D car designs, and 10 unreleased instrumentals of his. And if you want an idea of what
Bro had to throw, bro, keep the instrumentals. I'll take the car design, that's lit, bro. Art piece is cool. Bro, just finding any way to throw some music in. Bro, we don't want the music, bro.
What these art pieces are, when they aren't stolen from other people, they are the product of presets and automated designs, such as these lovely vases he was showcasing a little while later. Likewise, the instrumentals he makes are all using software that automatically structures a beat. A few days later, he began selling custom anime art for $5. Presumably, when this manic period of hyperproductivity died down, Cyraxx settled back into a melancholic, depressive state, as on February 7th, he mourns his absence of a girlfriend. A lolcow classic. Why can't I be happy with a wonderful girl who loves me for me?
Oh, shout out to 196 Army, man. He's literally the person that told me to react to Cyraxx, bro. Yesterday and today, bro.
It won't hurt me or use me, then throw me away. All I want is to be happy. Is that too much to ask for? To be happy with a girl who doesn't drink, smoke, or do any drugs, and will stand by my side no matter what? Is that really too much to ask for? The no drinking, no drugs caveat is truly reminiscent of the GOAT Chris Chan's attraction sign, but the comments reveal that Cyraxx is indeed a fake cell as a girl named Michelle Nicole Kingsbury.
You're not single, I'm yours, ain't I? Bro, Cyrus, I know this is your backup account, bro. No girl on Facebook is claiming you like this, bro. I thought I'd been us since like October, bro.
He says, "You are not single. I'm yours, ain't I? I thought I've been yours since like October." Cyraxx thought it wise not to respond to these fake cell allegations though. Seriously now, it's almost as if he has a child's idea of what having a girlfriend means and is sufficiently pleased by just calling someone that and being done with it. So much so that he's even forgotten someone had actually agreed to be his girlfriend already. His businessman persona takes the wheel again, this time advertising his pottery pieces with what looks to be poorly rendered 3D.
Bro, this is AI, bruh. Bro, trying to sell people AI. Bro, I ain't lying, bro. If you buy this thing, you gonna get this physically in the mail, bro, you deserve to get scammed.
Celtic rune patterns. Once again, he didn't sell a single one, and I doubt that he could actually even get one of these vases made if someone was goofy enough to buy one from him. His mania dies down, and after complaining about not making any money with his art, blaming it on companies not giving him a chance,
What took you so long, Slime? I was in an ad. Yo, what's good, gang? I just say, yo, shout out to you, bro, for putting me on Cyraxx.
he decides to go after the people who are stealing his art and claiming it as their own. Well, this is ironic, considering that he's done this hundreds of times at this point. There's no evidence that anyone's stolen any of Cyraxx's original artwork at all. If I were to guess, he saw someone complaining about being stolen from and decided to just do the same thing. Obviously, if this was a real concern about a real piece of artwork, he could just get it copyrighted. If Chris Chan managed to copyright Sonichu, there's no way Cyraxx couldn't do the same thing with his art. In April, he opened a new record label called Metal Militia, which hosted his band Black Fire Lighthouse. The only problem is his band was just a screen capture from the Flash game Punk-O-Matic. Didn't stop him from advertising for it using IMVU models though, and unfortunately, we are unable to hear any of their work at this moment. Lost media. A couple of weeks later, he once again starts talking about making a video game, but it turns out he just learned how to use Mugen, a fighting game template that allows you to easily add playable characters by downloading pre-made files and placing them in a folder in the program's directory. On his Facebook Facebook, he showed a computer-generated fight between the protagonist of Fatal Fury, Joe Higashi, and movie star Bruce Lee. Unfortunately, his primitive programming skills weren't impressing anybody, so he once again became melancholic, sharing his negative experience with relationships. Everyone wonders why people like me have trust issues when in a relationship. It's because when you're hurt, abused, and lied to so much, you don't know what to do, and half the time you want to end it, but don't want to be the bad guy in the end. It's not as simple as most think, especially when you truly love someone and they treat you really bad, yet you still give them everything in the hopes of them changing. Those who have hurt me may be the way I am today in relationships, and that is in no way my fault. And if you have trust issues in a relationship,
I just peeped. Nobody see this post. They had like 2 likes. Yeah. Chicken Tootsie. What's good, gang?
And are getting treated badly, you are in no way at fault, and nor are you alone. A peer of Cyraxx has commented, saying, "Same, I have 3 dads." It's unknown if Chance is referring to a specific ex-girlfriend of his in this post, but as we'll learn later on, if anyone's abusive in his relationships, it's probably him. After getting over this slump, he's back to using online software meant for kids to make what he calls artwork. This time, he generates cards for other artists, but also one for his fans, so that they can get early access to all of his music and art. In May, he claims he lost a friendship with a girl due to the machinations of an online hacker by the name of Chuck Stiegel, someone who he alleges has been harassing and hacking him.
Now I'm really noticing, bro. It's the same 2 likes every time, bro.
Of an online hacker by the name of Chuck Stiegel, someone who he alleges has been harassing and hacking him for years. In a way, Chuck was Cyraxx's first troll and first A-log at the same time, and since he will reappear later on, it's good to get his introduction out of the way. For those who don't know, an A-log is a troll who is ultimately more ridiculous than the person they're going after. But how can someone be more ridiculous than Cyraxx, you may ask? Well, how about a self-proclaimed vampire who says things like this and claims to be a conservative
racist? How you racist and a vampire, bruh? Man, what?
Christian while publicly cross-dressing online. Oh, and if that's insufficient, he's also the author of the cult classic
Blank Goth gooning off while crying.
classic retarded goth jerking off while crying. His relationship with Cyraxx began in 2013 when, according to the archivists, they...
Wait. Bro, is that Daniel Larson? Wait. Bro, is this Cyraxx or Daniel Larson, bruh? Is this Cyraxx, bruh? No? Who is this, bruh? Wait, Billy James Thayer pays Chuck a visit. What?
Along with a third friend called Billy Thayer, tried their hand at being a band, but it
can't tell me that's not Larson, bruh.
Instantly fell apart, as all of Cyraxx's creative endeavors do. We know this not because of Chance's troll following, because at the time, he was unknown. It was Chuck's troll following, which preceded Cyraxx's by a very long time, that preserved these pieces of info. While they were much smaller in comparison to what Cyraxx eventually amassed, they were enough to, through the word of mouth, tell the tale of how Chuck tried to set Cyraxx up with another girl while he was engaged to Heather to try and break them up. When this failed, Chuck sent Heather nude photos of himself to try and seduce her, and when Cyraxx found out, they had a falling out, and Chuck continued to harass Cyraxx by hacking into his accounts. This retelling, which happens to be the earliest one online, places the breakdown of their friendship at 2013. A later retelling, which Chuck himself corroborates, places it at 2015 and claims that Chuck decided to cut ties with Chance after discovering that he'd been exchanging inappropriate messages with a...
Alright, now we get into that EDP lore, bruh. God, dog.
The thing is, how could this be possible if Chuck hadn't already been hacking into Cyraxx's accounts? Chuck is from Florida, while Cyraxx is from Ohio, so there's no chance Chuck was using one of Chance's devices and randomly stumbled on the messages. The most likely story, especially since hindsight is 2020, and we later discover that Chance does indeed have proclivities toward inappropriate interactions, is that discovering Cyraxx's messages just gave Chuck pretext for what he was already doing. Before we get back into the main story, it's noteworthy to point out that their aforementioned mutual friend, Billy Thayer, met Chuck in a residential mental health program before they left to live on the streets. Eventually, Chuck managed to pay for a room in a boarding house, which they shared. Upon discovering his existence and immediately noticing he was an odd fellow who bore somewhat of a resemblance to Daniel Larson, the trolls took an interest. At the point this happened, Billy had fallen out with Chuck due to the latter having accused him of possessing a method of getting...
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can't be too surprised, bro. I knew that was eventually gonna come up. And I can't even be too shocked, bro, to be honest, gang.
Billy to talk was creating a Discord server and pretending to be a secret government agency created with the sole purpose of investigating Chuck Stiegel. This yielded a lot of results, certainly much more than initially expected, the most significant of which are archived in one of the main hubs for Cyraxx trolling, Masshole Mafia. It seems that Billy not only believed he was a Crip, a martial artist, and an experienced military man who went on multiple tours in the Middle East in the early 2000s, being decorated with a Purple Heart, among other medals. Though it's unknown if any of Billy's spiel has any truth to it, what is known for a fact is that his social media is full of posts like this one, as the trolls discovered that Chuck's accusations had some
pictures like this that blank me on. Mom and daughter.
weight to them. They decided to catfish Billy, pretending to be a single mom with By doing this, they successfully convinced Billy to concede remote access to his accounts, and what was found was shocking. The extent of what I can show from their findings is very limited, but rest assured you're not missing out on anything worth seeing. Let's just say Billy Thayer should move to Florida. The FBI and LAPD were informed of Billy's online dealings, and the trolls had a field day by having Billy do things like dunk his head into a toilet and flush. While he seemed intent on killing Chuck for having exposed him, he eventually defaulted into just trying to get a single mom to move into the boarding house he was living in.
This video is for my little princess. Just so you know, Daddy loves you.
Eventually, this sting operation culminated in a phone call with Billy in which he incriminated himself. The fact Billy was working at SeaWorld is horrifying to say the least. All this goes to show what kind of company Cyraxx was attracting. Honestly, with this in mind, dating
So mind you, wait on. So this Billy guy, this is not Cyraxx. This is like Cyraxx's friend, right?
Juggalettes isn't half bad. Unfortunately, both Chuck and Cyraxx were eventually faced with similar accusations with differing degrees of severity, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Back to the man of the hour, Chance Wilkins. He apparently dropped a book called Soul Census, but unfortunately we don't have access to its contents. After designing a few more cars, Cyraxx decided to move on to bigger and better, high-powered war mechs. It's interesting how he goes into detail about the kind of weapons and defense mechanisms it has, as if it were or possibly could be real, much like a kid would. He then designs some of the most revolutionary looking footwear of all time. That being said, critics found his revolutionary design somewhat controversial, to which he said, "To all my haters, sticks and stones could never shake my tone, so I'm thinking your words haven't got a hope." Based. He announces his new music project, Urban Warfare, but quickly devolves back into his lonely persona as he makes a post featuring an image of Rurouni Kenshin hugging his girl with the caption, "This is what I want, a beautiful girl who treats me right and won't abuse or hurt me. Is that too much to ask for? Is it too much for me to ask to be happy for once in my life? So what if I don't look the best? That shouldn't matter. What should matter is how the other one is treated." He then specifies 25 CD pre-orders will constitute Urban Warfare's rollout, and I'm not sure why that's the number he picked, but that is it. After showing his brand spanking new IMVU avatar for Shadowblade, he drops a rant on how the music industry—
How old? 2016, bro. 30. I'm not. Wait, I know some of y'all. Mainly, I know females play IMVU, bro. If you 30 plus, grown ass man playing IMVU, bro, we all know what you up to. We all know what you up to, bro. Like, actually.
And record labels are exploitative and unfair, despite never having actually been signed to a record label. He then reposted said rant 3 times, I guess because he was unhappy with the little traction the first post got. Overall, 2016 was a positive year for Cyraxx, perhaps the last one of them. Apparently, not only did he once again enter a relationship, he started a job at a new place called Miracle Riders, though this might be just yet another iteration of his fake Second Life car business. Most importantly, 2016 was a year with no police reports from the Cyraxx household. The same cannot be said for 2017. January is kicked off with a plethora of new live stream VODs going up on his Facebook account, most of which contain the usual we've come to expect from Cyraxx. At this point, he's also convinced himself he knows how to play the guitar. And his superb production skills also make a reappearance.
Oh, yo, let me make sure I can add to it of this.
Here you go, making that BS music again, man. Fries game.
After thinking about life, Chance begins to work on a music documentary and enters another relationship, while his live streams are forced to go on a brief hiatus due to someone reporting him. His banning and subsequent return are the primers that kick off what his trolls have come to call the living room saga, where he was frequently recording himself doing his routine not in his bedroom, but in the middle of Sally's living room. On the first day of February, he released a new dubstep track.
Oh, his dance routine? What is he got on snow goggles?
That's why I said throw your shades on there, 'cause this is fucking fire, dude.
It's really a testament to his intellect and awareness that he's dropping dubstep tracks in 2017. Or maybe he's just got swag. For some unexplainable reason, in a lot of these live streams, he wears these motorcycle glasses on his head. I guess because he thinks it's cool and cybergoth. Which, make no mistake, it is. He then made a new band with his friend called Hallow Injection, with some wonderful cover art to go with it. He drops another song, this one with a feature from a friend of his, though it appears he misplaced his friend's verse on the beat, then moves on to working on his new EP called Nut House. Since his music endeavors weren't working out, he offered his services as a dog sitter or babysitter before going back to selling beats, this time for 50 cents each. He also started a
Bro, gang. Wait, run that back.
sitter or babysitter
Is anyone looking for a dog babysitter for 3 to 4 hours a day? A decent bro, no, bro. You cannot be anywhere near my dog, gang.
before going back to selling beats, this time for 50 cents each.
Bro, just stop, bro. We don't like how low do you, at this point just give it away for free. I mean, we still not gonna take free Cyraxx music, bro. Like, gang, go from $1 to 50 cents, bro. Just stop, bro. When you gonna stop selling these beats, bro?
He also started a radio show and even hosted a concert to fight racism, all while working on a video game style movie and his first ever all rap album. Unlike many of his other albums and songs, this album is still up and very accessible. This is the cover for it, and this is how it sounds.
Every single day to watch my best friends die. Every day just to protect my life. Yeah, you.
Zay, I forgot to tell you that Cyraxx is not allowed by dogs because I think he did something to his dog.
But Cyraxx's disappointments with the music industry resurfaced. First, he alleged that someone stole a car design from him and submitted it to the Power Rangers film from 2017. It got accepted, and they took credit for it. It doesn't seem like he ever names the person who supposedly did this, so we can probably chalk it up as just another instance of Chance completely hallucinating life events that didn't happen. Next, he claimed a record label wouldn't sign him because he was too ugly, and pretended he'd been crying for hours about it before dropping a song called F the Industry, targeted at said record label, which he does not name at any
We bumping that Cyraxx? No, we not.
point in time. It's also in February that he drops possibly one of the best pieces of avant-garde comedy ever witnessed by man.
Yo, King, I got baptized earlier, and holy W, bro.
Oh.
W, gang.
No way here. Oh. Huh? Where am I? Hey, what the hell? Wait, what? Dude. Who are you? Who are you? I asked you first. Oh, let's fight.
Bro, you're not a movie director. Bro, y'all see what he's doing right now, bro? What is he? Bro, what is he editing this in iMovie, bro?
Come on.
In March, he gives up on releasing one of his albums because doing so officially would cost $20. He then opens a store for Shadowblade merch and fakes a newsletter from the mobile game Vainglory, where he's described as one of the top 2 players in North America. In a video posted to his Facebook, he claims he made it and announces he'll be doing a concert in Chicago, and then 2 days later he goes on a hiatus. It seems he joined another label in the meantime, Outcast Records, to release his long-awaited return to the rap game, Rebirth, after a couple of weeks or so of not posting any tracks and just busying himself with online drifting games. Oh, and he got another girlfriend named Tiny, who is obviously a catfish. Eventually, he did do a concert, if we can call it that, which consisted of him performing his songs in his usual living room setting. His next creative pivot is to make a series for YouTube about zombies called Dead Adventures, and after many instances of Chance comparing his relationship with Miss Tiny to Naruto and Hinata, they break up, supposedly because of Tiffany, which is Tiny's real name, saying something to her special needs aunt that Cyraxx wasn't okay with.
But
Wait, what?
Is Tiny's real name, saying something to her special needs aunt that Cyraxx wasn't okay with.
But what she said to her aunt is beyond fucked up. She told her aunt to shut the fuck up, stop asking questions, and to quit playing with the curtains before she smacks the living shit out of her.
Due to his history of twisting the truth to make himself look
That was probably a lie, bro. I ain't lie. I think no Diddy. But I didn't think cavemen look better than Cyraxx. This is crazy, bro. Like, this is like, bro.
better, there's no telling if there's any truth to the statement here. It didn't seem like the breakup shook him too badly, considering just a while later, he was dropping more banger Facebook posts such as, "My team knows about this. When you're a boss and grab that last can of NOS that the store has in stock." Soon after, he got together with yet another girl, who according to Cyraxx was his high school sweetheart. Moving increasingly farther away from music, he returned to his knack for game programming, apparently to make a game called Fantasia Order of the Moon. And I can only assume he's going to use RPG Maker to do so. Later on, he announces he'll be taking a voice acting role in a game.
Whoa, wait, look at this is the most likes he done ever got. 21? Yo, guess who has their first ever voice acting job coming up real soon for a video game? We all know that's a lie.
Opposed to taking on the role of the programmer, but neither of these things ever materialize. He returns to music instead to tease his new album, OCR Princess Farewell Tink Tink, which is probably the most deranged title so far. At some point, he either broke up with his high school sweetheart, or she has more than one name, as on June 6th, he claims that unnamed people are trying to break him up with his girlfriend, Betty. He seems to become increasingly upset and frustrated in general, which leads to his efforts towards music noticeably decreasing. After re-releasing his old album, Darkness to Light, he considers quitting music altogether, saying, "To be honest, these last couple of days, I've been contemplating quitting music because record labels don't know how to shut their mouths about me and refuse to stop bashing on me all because of my physical appearances. Do I want to quit? No, but how can I make a living if they won't stop bashing on me and give me a fair chance to show them what I can do?" Many others believe I should be signed, but it's hard to get signed when record labels constantly tear you down and bash on you. He makes yet another live stream complaining about how the only reason he doesn't get signed and make it in the music industry—
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It gets to a point where I just respect that he not giving up, bro. Why I can't get my foot in the door music-wise. Like, I respect the hustle. I don't respect Cyraxx. Let's not get them two things messed up. I respect him to keep going, bro. Cause bro's like, what is he, like 28 now, bro? He been making music for Lord knows how long, bro.
Is because of his—
never back down, never way. Bro ain't never giving up on his music dreams, bro. I respect it.
Looks, and follows it up by retiring the name Shadowblade so that he can start anew. Right around this time, Linkin Park vocalist Chester Bennington tragically passes away, and despite knowing very little about what actually happened, he didn't hesitate to chime in and act as if his death had something to do with bullying. His way of paying tribute to Chester was to release a Linkin Park mashup dubstep album. It doesn't seem like this project ever came to fruition, and his frustration and rage kept building up until it hit a fever pitch. On the 24th of July, he made another rant on labels, and an ego-driven psychosis was replacing the usual self-victimizing tone in his rants. It read, "To every label out there talking shit, I want you to know, yes, I may lose these battles, but in the end, this war I will win, and I won't stop or back down. You guys think you can touch me? Well, guess what? You were wrong. There's a reason they call me demigod. I can't be touched by your negativity or your bullshit. So just know this, in the end, I will win this war and make it in the music industry and shut you all up for good." What's shocking is that this was actually prior to him being discovered by trolls whatsoever. Even without any opposition, Cyraxx was deadlocked in a war with no one but himself, and it somehow looked like he was losing. A day later, he publicly pondered retiring from music altogether, but he proceeded to delve into his lonely state after breaking up once again. In his post about it, he complains that no girl is cool with him living in his mom's house to take care of her. After disappointment in his music career, his new dream is to be a professional drift racer, and the only—
Bro, how you go from music to drift racing, bro? Like, how did we even get introduced to this, bro?
only thing stopping him from
Bro
doing
watched one NASCAR meet on TV.
so is his lack of a driver's license. You see, this is how life kept things fair. Chris Chan couldn't get a girlfriend but had a driver's license, while Cyraxx was the exact opposite. The reason he gave for losing his passion for making music was Chester's passing, and his new interests were making art books and calendars. August starts out in an
Chester died, but I don't even know what to say if that's real or a lie.
Interesting way, with Cyraxx telling a story about how his good friend Jason David Frank, the Green Power Ranger, was almost killed by someone who went to Comic-Con with 4 pistols intending to assassinate him. There are many, many far-fetched stories in Cyraxx's history, but this one is possibly the most difficult to understand. There's no telling if he ever met Jason David Frank in his life, nor is there an apparent reason for him to lie about this. Of all the people to claim you're friends with, why the Green Power Ranger? While the story about the guy with 4 guns at Comic-Con is verifiably true, since many third parties have reported reported it, I can't make out why Cyraxx is particularly interested. Chance's behavior patterns were becoming increasingly explicit with every mood swing and episode. He repeatedly told his life story to make people feel sorry for him, while cyclically announcing new albums and new retirements to try and get people to ask him not to retire. Another recurrent theme is him accusing people of hacking him whenever he was caught doing something unseemly. For example, on August 16th, he accuses Tiffany of hacking him and making it look like he was cheating on his then girlfriend, Abby, even making a video to bring the point home. All of this while starting livestream after livestream, wherein he rubbed his head and picked things off of his lips. On the 20th of August, a strange police report is made when one of Chance's neighbors decides to call for a welfare check after Chance's ex-boyfriend apparently threatened Sally over the phone.
Wait. Said that Watkins was threatening his mother over the phone. He's a white male, balding with longer hair on the side. Yeah, that's a pretty accurate description, bro.
Phone. I'm not sure what to make of this or what it's supposed to mean, but it sure looks like what I said. Besides his extensive use of what appears to be a rap battle app, which he claims is where he now releases his songs through, not much happens during the following.
Battle Me, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think I used to have this app on my iPhone 5, bro, or iPhone 6. Battle Me. You used to be able to like rap on it, and then it would send you out to somebody, and the AI would choose who won.
Period.
Like that. I had an app similar to this.
Besides complaining about the lookism of record labels, he now lumps in promoters as being to blame for his lack of success. While not mentioning having broken up with Abby, he starts posting pictures as being to blame for.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. He's low-key turned into like an animal, bro. I don't know what animal this looks like, but bro, this ain't human. Bro, this ain't human, man.
His lack of success. While not mentioning having broken up with Abby, he starts posting things as if he was now single and looking for someone. What might have been happening is that on Facebook, there's this feature that allows you to select people whom you don't want seeing your posts, and Chance was using this as a way to cheat in plain sight, I guess. He then holds a meet and greet in Akron for his fan base to congregate and meet up with him so he can give them autographs. Funnily enough, it looks like he didn't show up for his own event. After looking for metal bands in Akron to be the vocalists of and failing, he tries his hand at selling digitally traced and filtered stock images as if they were original artwork. More and more, I'm thinking that his incessant
I know he was the type of dude. Y'all remember when folks was selling NFTs, bruh? I know he was the type to screenshot NFT and try to sell it for $1,000. Get out with that, man.
Complaints about people stealing his art are as a result of people pointing out that his art is identical to all of these already existing stock images. So he resorts to claiming they're the ones copying his stuff. He grew increasingly shameless about what kind of art he claimed was his own. For example, this one. I'm pretty sure this is some kind of foot fetish fan art. Meanwhile, this is just a famous picture of Audrey Hepburn he was convinced he could pawn off for 40 bucks. He even made up some lore to go with his lies, talking about how rich brats were removing his watermarks with Photoshop and making money off of it. Never, not even once, does he actually even name anyone that's supposedly doing this. On September 12th, he decided to hold a memorial for not 9/11, but 9/11, which I guess is September 1st, 2001. Not 9/11.
To honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice on, bro, that is not 9/11, bro. Why I was gonna say that. Why did you put a heart eye emojis while you was crying, bro? But nah, sacrifice on 911, bro. Nah, gang, like using anything to profit is crazy, bro.
But 911, which I guess is September 1st, 2001. Never forget. The Facebook post he made about it had attached to it images of the car he designed in his drifting game, emblazoned with an American flag and 911 on the hood. I'm pretty sure the 911 logo in-game is supposed to designate a police car, but what matters is the intent. A day later, he drops a heavier cover of Evanescence's song Going Under. From the middle to the end of the month, he begins to tease potentially retiring again due to his computer being broken, rendering him unable to produce any artwork. As October starts, we can assume he's been kicked off one of the hundreds of bands he's joined, despite having no discernible skills as a music artist, because he makes a post complaining about people not being serious about their music and wanting to be like other bands instead of being original. I personally take this to mean that his offbeat Benadryl flows weren't his bandmate's cup of tea. In order to give himself an air of importance, he follows it up with another post blatantly lying. Sitting here in tears, and I'm on the verge of quitting music for good because I just got told in an email by the head A&R for Warner Brothers Records that if I were a pro in music, no one would want to remember me or my music because I don't look like all the others who are successful, and because I don't follow trends or anything like the huge successful ones do. This is what I face every fucking day of my life, is shit like this. A day later, in order to get some engagement his way, he dedicates another car design to the LGBTQ community.
I mean, I don't know if he never said he was zesty, but nothing wrong with doing this. But bro, it's just like, bro, are you even in this community? Like, you just doing anything to try to get a sale right now, bruh.
In the wake of then President Trump's ban on transgenders being in the military. For some odd reason, Cyraxx thought that a Roman Empire looking flag on the hood matched the rainbow flag design that it had on its side. In a stunning turn of events, he found himself a new girlfriend, Maria, before he even broke up with Abby, which seems to have taken place 2 days later. In his post about the breakup, he mentions that he has no idea why her parents disapproved of him as a boyfriend for her daughter, though I think it may have been him publicly posting about his relationship with other girls, assuming this girl is even real to begin with. In a post in which he asked for help related to Social Security, it's revealed in the comments that a female acquaintance of his, potentially Abby since we know her to be disabled to some extent, is under threat of having her supplemental security income taken away, and it's a possibility that she might get kicked out of her home and have all of her contact with the outside world cut off. Because of his experience with Abby, Chance grew more comfortable with the concept of being special needs himself. As we can see, near the end of October, he started to call himself a special needs artist, and
oh my, bro, exactly what I just said. Bro, if he thinks he can even get one sale by claiming a whole group of people, but now he claiming special needs, bro. He probably, now I ain't gonna lie, this might actually be his group. He might actually genuinely claim this, but like he's just like just anything. I wonder what group he's gonna claim next.
Was considering making a YouTube docuseries about what it's like. Ultimately, this didn't pan out, and he gave up on music to pursue a career as a digital artist and painter. A little while after, on Halloween, he posts a poem about PTSD, which seems to be written by him since there's a lot of odd syntax going on, and the rhymes are something straight out of Dr. Seuss. But it seems this time, Chance made the effort of
like 20. I got my iPhone 5 2015. 2015 or 2015 summer. 2015 summer, I got my iPhone 5.
Putting the thing through a basic grammar check. Somehow, after retiring from music to pursue a career as a visual artist, he became successful as an author. As a post of his laments the lack of someone to celebrate his—
I still have my grandfather's iPhone 5? Alright, bro, I'm not that old, bro. What do you mean your grandfather's iPhone 5? What, bro, iPhone 5 is not that old. What? What do you mean by that, bruh? Oh, you act like iPhone 5 80 years old, bro. What you mean by that, bruh?
Success with. Despite no longer being a musician, he dedicates a song of his to the military.
You guys have my full respect, not only as an army brat,
He then publishes more poems about samurais and other things that look a lot like they're not his, and proceeds to become a professional photographer. As he grows stir-crazy and mad from not having a computer to play around on all day, quietly returns to making pottery, though I should specify that it is micro-pottery. That's right, vases that are just 5 to 10 centimeters tall. I don't really know what led to this development, but I think he must have found some like vase designing app on his phone that allowed him to simulate how much it would cost to make them. He claims to have sculpted and painted—
Y'all don't know, I think the first device I ever had was a leapfrog, bruh. I had a leapfrog like 2012. Y'all know, some of y'all are born 2012. Y'all don't even know what a leapfrog is, bruh.
To them by hand when they are visibly in a 3D program. He then makes a post complaining about how other people have it easy and he doesn't, despite being unemployed and living for free, making 216.mp3 tier music all day. Poetically, his next post is about how good he is at playing GameCube. Finally, his fury scabs over, and he decides to quit his artistic aspirations to become an assassin. One man by the name of Hunter makes the terrible mistake of commenting under Cyraxx's post, saying this: "I don't mean to be the asshole here in this situation, but your whole argument could be used against you. Besides that, I could be a bigger asshole and say you're bitching about others bitching. My point here is listen to yourself and people you care about and block out the annoyances, otherwise they'll drag you down and make you one of them." Little did Hunter know, Chance was not the one to take constructive criticism lying down, and his immediate response was to express himself via his music.
I seen your little comment, dude.
Who is you pressing right now, bruh?
And you know what? I got something for you, rap. Yo, I see you looking like a little mother, acting like a little mother. Stop me, dude.
Eventually, he came around to address what Hunter, along with many other people, told him, which was that he should just let go of being mad and move on. This was Cyraxx's brilliant response.
Bro, oh my, wait, hold on. What are these comments saying, bro? I gotta read the comments on this video, bro. Dude, no you don't. Response to video time. I don't know why you think it's funny. Haha, this was funny to hear. Thanks for a good laugh, my dude.
Let go of being mad and move on. This was Cyraxx's brilliant response.
See, I get what you're saying, that I don't need to listen to people. And I'll admit, you're right about that to a certain extent. But what you fail to realize is what I deal with every day. You see, I'm not like you. I can't just up and walk away from it all whenever the I feel like. I can't do that. It's not that I don't want to, it's that I can't. Because unlike you, I'll go through a lot more than you could ever imagine, boy. Unlike you, I was born with 1 kidney, 1.5 functioning lungs. I was born 1 pound 12 ounces of was not supposed to live. Every fucking day, I face death in the face and say, you.
Initially, you could almost feel sorry for a guy being this screwed up from the get-go, but seeing how much he uses this for an excuse for his poor behavior and to self-aggrandize, the pity wears off pretty quickly. If that minute or so was enough to be slightly annoying, let me tell you that
That's what I'm saying. That's real though, bruh. Like, if I was him, bruh, I would genuinely base my whole music career, bruh, on genuinely like how I survived even being born. That's like W Lord, bruh. Like 1 pound, half a lung. How is he even surviving?
Original live stream that clip came from is 40 minutes long, and Cyraxx just repeats himself for the entirety of it. To make things worse, he releases multiple nearly hour-long streams right after about the same guy. This just shows how easily trollable Chance was. All it took was a few meager comments and he was bent out of shape and responding for days on end. After finally getting over Hunter, he goes back to blatantly lying for no reason. I am officially pissed at myself. I was playing World Series Poker Tournament on my Kindle for real cash, and I fucked up on the last round on my last move and lost a shot at the prize of $125 million.
Bro, that was fake money. You did not almost win 125, bro. That was fake money, bro.
I'd be
Bro almost lost 125 million COD points. Like, bro.
Actually pissed at myself too. Nearing the end of November, he finally gets a new computer to do his streams on and changes his name to Virus. Very cool. His comeback to making music included becoming the co-founder of a record label called Bloodshot Records, of which he was one of the main artists. Years after it happened, he revisits the old drama regarding Eric Scrubolo and Killa Clown Sounds, only to claim that people were stealing from him and that Scrubolo was underpaying him and mismanaging all of his artists. According to Cyraxx, Eric was stuck in the past, unlike himself, who was always ahead of the curve. He also says that he thinks he's owed money due to the Killa Clown Sounds Facebook page having 1,000 fans, all the while conveniently glossing over the fact that he was kicked out of the label from stealing from Eric. But failing to understand how business works is not a talent that Cyraxx reserves for the music industry. He also raves at book publishing companies for asking $1,000 from him to publish this garbage, as if publishers should promote his work.
Some companies, they want $9.80 in 3 payments just to publish my poetry. Bro, it's not even your poetry, bro. What a ripoff. You ripping off Google. Like, what game?
For free. The man of the hour closes the year off with a picture of him next to a gigantic Reese's cup. Very tasteful. While he spent the beginning of the next year trying to grow his label and add as many artists to it as possible, because he thought that's what it meant to run a label, he apparently was reacquainted with a man named Tanner, who'd approached him 2 years prior, claiming he worked for Tech Nine's label, Strange Music, and offered him a $1.1 million contract for his beats. After warning everyone not to fall for his tricks, he made this endearing post. When you're awake at 4 a.m. and can't sleep, so you hop onto Adventure Quest 3D with your best friends who you've known since 08, shit gets real. Awkward and funny in seconds. Lol. As much as he does extremely unlikable things, I'm almost beginning to empathize with him in the same way one would empathize with a screwed up rescue dog. Except this rescue dog is like kind of a heinous, horrible human being. Not satisfied with every skill he's already mastered, Cyraxx enters the website game and claims he's now working on a social network like Facebook and MySpace combined. It's inspiring to me how courageous he is for posting this on Mark Zuckerberg's platform with no fear of having his cutting edge code stolen from him, especially given Mark's track record. He quickly grows tired of the web dev hustle and gets into professional gaming, saying he should be getting paid for being as good as he is on Call of Duty Black Ops. Almost as if divine punishment for his misdeeds, Cyraxx goes to the doctor and discovers he has shrunken an inch from 5'3" to 5'2".
So I'm a freaking hobby. He broke all the himself a hobby.
Soon after, a similar situation to that of Hunter happens, with someone making the following criticism of Cyraxx's music in a comment section. People are going nuts for—
He was devolving, bro. I already knew it, bro. It's just like each year he just gets worse.
no explainable reason. I'm afraid it's just not
Cyraxx versus Zay in a fight, who winning?
decent. The rhythm of the lyrics is dreadful. The auto-tune actually hurts to hear, and the vocal mixing is terrible. Can barely hear you. And
I wouldn't even, bro. Cyraxx is one of them dudes, bro. You shouldn't even fight, bro, because genuinely that fight will turn into murder. There's no point, gang. Bro got one lung, one kidney, bro. It's no point in punching his ass, bro. Genuinely, bro. He already got the biggest disadvantage of all time.
No decent mixing done on the vocals at all. It's flat and dry other than the auto-tune, which, as I said, is terrible. Too many people lie to you to make you feel good. I refuse to do so. Upset that someone was honest with him as opposed to just complimenting his stuff, Cyraxx decided to make a live stream responding, but not before he wiped his dirty teeth with his tank top right at the beginning of it. For once, it seems Cyraxx is actually upset instead of miming what he thinks a rapper or WWE wrestler would say when challenged. Once he begins his routine of belittling those who criticize him by saying he's gone through more, his critic says that he works full-time to support a family, and on top of that, as part of a metal band that has more fans than Cyraxx, which he visibly struggles to respond to meaningfully. For once, our champion is shaken, taken aback by the words of his naysayers. But like all things, Cyraxx forgot about it soon after due to his goldfish-like attention span and returned to playing his racing game while pretending on Facebook that he was an actual racer in real life. Once again trying his hand at selling the custom cars he made in-game, he tried contacting an actual art publishing company over email and got immediately dismissed for how ridiculous and worthless his customs were. While there was never and continues to be no chance for Chance to become famous for his music, his incessant Facebook posting, along with his responses to anyone who dared to criticize him,
on his ass. Why ain't you doing him like that? He a bird-chested blank face. His barber blanked him over bad. He wants to what? What? He wants to smash me. Man, what the hell is Andrew talking about, bruh?
we're seeing an increase in engagement. His fame as a lol cow was taking his baby steps. He proceeded to join DeviantArt to sell his art pieces for $1 each and posted these nice images to showcase his ability to use photo filters. On the 23rd, he dropped each and posted these nice images to show
Happy Death Day? Bro, these are genuine probably with Snapchat filters back in the day.
showcase his ability to use photo filters. On the 23rd, he dropped another album called Blackout with a hue-shifted picture of Master Chief from Halo as the cover. Eventually, his ability to stream on Facebook was taken away, thankfully, supposedly due to a cover he made of a Linkin Park song on the harmonica. He then invents the deranged headcanon that record labels and studios from the 50s used to help artists for no pay, and it's unfair that the current ones won't do the same for him. He applies the same logic to book publishers and announces a search for a company that will publish his works for free. Works, which apparently now include a high school manga based around his life, with yet another step being taken towards becoming Chris Chan. March was void of any interesting activity besides the fact that, judging from Cyraxx's posts and Eric's comments on them, the two were back on good terms with each other. His ability to livestream was reinstated, much to the displeasure of his haters and the extreme pleasure of his trolls. Being the man he is, he makes a post complaining about having lost an ex-girlfriend of his to a supposed friend. By the way,
damn, backstabbing me, no longer together. Well, his friend took his girl?
Said ex-girlfriend has a cat that appears to have Cyraxx syndrome in the eyes.
Bro, what is Cyraxx syndrome, bruh? Whatever it is, bruh, I don't want it. I don't want it, bruh. I don't want it, bruh.
His account is once again placed under threat of suspension or ban due to his continued covering of songs, and I'm pretty sure it's because he plays the actual songs during his streams, and you can intermittently hear them unedited in the stream's audio. Cyraxx claims his videos were getting almost 4,000
folks like him. Chris Chance has the tism? Wait. Chris Chan had the tism while having these same delusions?
views, which is an absolute lie. Due to him reconnecting with Eric Scrubbelow, he's given the opportunity to perform at a live venue on the 21st of June, though it would be free admission. Still, that's better than performing metal Evanescence covers for 5 viewers on a Facebook Live. However, just a month later, it starts looking like his relationship with Eric is once again on the fast track to self-destruction, since Cyraxx continues not to understand that his music needs to profit anything in order for Eric to pay him. In the middle of May, it looks like Cyraxx got the hang of using cheap online publishers to release his music digitally. Meanwhile, we see one of the first signs of what would eventually come to be Cyraxx's downfall. It appears he had been catfished by someone by the name of Lewis, who accomplished the probably not extremely difficult task of tricking Cyraxx into showing his member to him by pretending probably not extremely difficult task of tricking Cyraxx into showing his member to him.
Intimate pic of you that she can to blackmail you. She just did it to me, so be aware. If you see any of my meat, delete and report her. Bro, why did you bro, why? Again, stop tagging me or I'm removing you. Wait. Is he getting these likes from tagging people? What is he tagging her Emily in this for? What is Emily, Femily, Bimily, Crazy name. Have to do with any of this, bruh.
By pretending to be a girl who was fallen for his irresistible riz. Then, Lewis proceeded to use the intimate image of Cyraxx to blackmail him into doing something that we're unaware of. However, when Cyraxx took to Facebook to warn people of this, he pretended he was hacked, and that's how Lewis got those pictures of him in the first place. And it would happen many other times in the future, but we'll get to that eventually. June starts out on the wrong foot, or rather, the infected foot, as Cyraxx finds himself in a fight for his life against an infection on his toe.
Freaky ass emoji, bruh. Why would you say infection sucks and put that tongue? What?
Doesn't break his stride, however, as on the very next day, he makes a post humble bragging about how a bunch of girls want to be with him now just because he's rich and famous, despite the fact that he's neither of those things. A few days later, we hear the bad news that Cyraxx's live concert has been canceled, supposedly due to people not getting the dates right. That's a very weird reason for him not to do the concert, so I'm presuming he's leaving out some part of the story here. Or the concert was never going to happen in the first place. He channels this anger into making a diss track on Donald Trump and creating a new YouTube channel called Gamerzone, for which at least one of the logos was stolen directly from a rap battle channel called GZ Battles. Somehow, despite having his concert canceled and making rigorously no money from his music, he makes a post to his Facebook saying the following: "Producers and companies might hate me, but later today I will be revealing and exposing live on Facebook how to avoid producers who want $50+ for one beat, and how to become self-successful in music on your own with no label backing whatsoever, and showing you how most artists these days can make it with zero money and not have to spend a single dime to
Bro, you haven't even made it yet, bruh.
just do it how I did it." His great tips are a list of free music making apps, and he never gets to the point about how exactly to make money out of using them. On the 22nd, due to whatever caused the concert to fall apart, Eric and Cyraxx were back at odds as the latter dropped a video attacking him.
And you might think I suck? Well, dude, if I suck so bad, why is my music up on Spotify? Why have I been Reverb Nation's #1 artist from 2010 up to this year? So, I guess that ends that relationship. But you know what? At least I'm out here making money. That's the issue with you. You're not fucking business smart.
Apparently,
bro, you got 1 like on this video. Bro. Like, who are you talking to right now, bro? Bro, why are you making Facebook responses? This is not even YouTube. What website is this? What website is he even making this video on, bruh?
Chance has been rated the best musician in the entire nation for the entire decade and is making money. Again, anything is sufficient to make Cyraxx's ego inflate, and learning how to simply publish his music on platforms has got him convinced that there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people buying his music. During the video, there's a moment in which he acts like he's going to show his money before giving up on it.
You know what?
You not finna pull out no racks, bruh. You not finna pull out no racks.
I ain't gonna waste that on you.
Very obvious.
Bro, Cyraxx, let's go man for man, twin. Please, bro. Bro, better flex. Bro, you not gonna up no cash on me, gang.
Obviously, he relented because there's probably not any money to speak of. A couple of days later, he shows his chiseled abs and pecs underneath what looks to be a discount Sonichu necklace.
Wait, why he low-key, hold on, why he low-key got abs though, bruh? It may have taken 8+ months, but it feels great to have my body back. I couldn't feel any more better. I mean, hey. He did lock in, though.
I think these things must be like voodoo totems and invoke the same demon that possesses these guys to do the stuff they do. Despite now being a successful superstar in music, Cyraxx once again started pursuing another endeavor, filmmaking. On the 26th of June, he posted an unofficial trailer for a movie called Lady in White. Another wonderful film production from Mr. Rax is this monstrosity.
What's the matter? You scared?
Yes. Yes, I am. I told y'all he was asleep for hours.
After this, he posted an image of a Google Hangouts Chester Bennington had participated in and edited his own face in the corner in a hilarious...
Bro doing anything to feel included, bruh. Cyraxx, you was not in this meeting. Bro, you was not in this meeting, bro.
Seriously bad fashion to make it look like they were like hanging out. Come July 4th, and Cyraxx celebrates it by getting into another relationship, and right after, releases a new track called Please Notice Me that somehow manages to be a #1 hit before it was even published. It's not a...
Bro, wait, hold on. Imagine...
4th, and Cyraxx...
Imagine Instagram. I remember I never had MySpace, bro. I was too young. But imagine like Instagram had like where you could update your bio to like in a relationship or single, bruh. Would y'all use that, yay or nay?
Celebrates it by getting into another relationship, and right after, releases a new track called Please Notice Me that somehow manages to be a #1 hit before it was even published. It's not enough to lie about his success in one venue, he has to do it in all of them. He claims he's in tears because he had to turn down a deal with Hoonigan, a well-known racing channel, because he didn't have 100,000 subs on YouTube, and that Hoonigan was willing to send him a full setup. Later on, he admits that he has no license and thus wouldn't be allowed to drive anything, let alone a race car. After a while of not getting anything done, Cyraxx decides to attention seek by trying to get people to pity him, and telling a fake story about how the doctors told him he'd have to stop making music or he was going to lose his voice. His pity-baiting posts intensify as he retells his life story for the umpteenth time, this time subtracting 2 ounces from his birth weight to make it even more extreme. In order to stick to his "I'm going to lose my voice" story, he pivots to being a photographer again, until on the 17th, he announces again that he's entered a relationship. On the same day, he reveals he's gotten back together with Abby, but the good times only lasted so long. His song, Please Notice Me, was attracting some attention on YouTube and consequently, negative attention as well. People were pointing out how horrible it sounded, and Cyraxx was responding in a very Cyraxx fashion. August is a relatively quiet month, with him mourning his bandmates from high school who allegedly at the same time. A little while later, he starts flipping out on people who steal art right before his own artwork suffers copyright takedown due to the fact that a lot of it is just downloaded from Google Images and re-uploaded as his own. Eventually, the 6 weeks waiting period that he claims he has to undergo in order to claim royalties for his music is up, and now he gets to lay his hands on the total lump sum of $14, though he struggles to do so and starts berating the platform that supposedly owes him money on Facebook. Later on, early signs of troll activity begin, with people doing the old CWC routine of taking his name and pretending to be the real him online, and immediately this tactic shows some success at getting a reaction out of Cyraxx. The lack of music in September is justified by the other things Cyraxx is up to during the month. Namely, he drops a trailer for his first short horror movie, The Darkness. As you can see, all characters are played by him in an Eddie Murphy Norbit type of vibe. It's also in September that he drops one of his most absolute classic videos, the dance battle response to an old rival. I really don't know how to put
Bro, I had no idea what he was about to do in that chair, bro.
Most absolute classic
I gotta
video.
hear the music, bro.
The dance battle response to an old rival. I really don't know how to put into words how I feel about this other than amazing, excellent, divine, beautiful. Later on in the month, he does a rehash of his tutorial on how to become a successful artist without spending any money, this time under the moniker of Dark Star Films, his fantasy production company for The Darkness. In early October, which is fittingly the spooky month, The Darkness is dropped in its entirety, and it's absolutely incomprehensible. It begins with a sped up shot of Cyraxx walking into his own house before a hard cut to a flashback wherein you can see him with a PewDiePie face cam looking dumbfounded as he frantically switches between some kind of virtual radio stations, but all you can hear is static. Cut to the present, he wakes up on the couch and starts mumbling nonsense to himself for a few minutes. He walks around his house until he randomly starts hearing voice acting lines from the baby character at a Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, which I believe are copyrighted by the way, so we're not going to play that. He ignores this and continues to wander aimlessly until he leaves his house to look for his friends. In doing so, he becomes hypnotized by how beautiful the forest looks and finds himself compelled to walk into it like an ancient Greek tale. He hears more lines from the baby character, and this time it freaks him out, prompting him to start running around. Eventually, he identifies whatever is haunting him as the force of darkness before going home and calling his friends again. He hears more baby lines and goes back to wigging out, but eventually just goes back to sleep. Once he falls asleep, the movie cuts to Cyraxx in the darkness with a blinking light illuminating his face as a nightmare sequence. He wakes up again and starts talking to himself until the baby lines start up again, and I guess he starts choking to death. After that, he just plays someone else's creepy horror video, and then there's a few minutes of darkness. Quite conceptual. Due to how unintentionally funny The Darkness was, it garnered more views than Cyraxx as usual, and
Shout out Mara with the sub, man. Yes! W sub, man. Shout out Mara, man. Shout out to Mara, man. I'm assuming you enjoying the vid, man. W.
Eventually, it piques the attention of the man who would make Cyraxx famous, but not for the reasons you would expect. The official Cyraxx timeline, because yes, he has an official timeline, marks October the 19th as the day Cyraxx's nemesis, Music Biz Marty, discovered his existence due to someone called the Boy Blue introducing him to Chance's content while he harassed one of his ex-girlfriends, Candle. There's no linked source to back this particular time frame, but by closely studying his Facebook activity, we can deduce that Cyraxx entered into a relationship with Candle on the 11th of October, and they, I guess, continue to stay.
Must have been very controversial. How you get more likes than comments? 26 likes, 71 comments. What was they saying in that comment section?
Cyraxx entered into a relationship with Candle on the 11th of October, and they, I guess, continue to stay together until the end of November, when Cyraxx posts about his prospects of marrying her, even picking out who would be the godparents of the children he was planning to have with her. Thankfully, it never got that far, though, considering we're soon to discover Cyraxx's proclivity toward frequently whipping out his private parts whenever given the opportunity, or not given the opportunity. We can assume that having a girlfriend kept Rax nicely wrangled up for the month of November, because no occurrences took place whatsoever. However, the month of December kicks off with an already very strange note. Cyraxx makes a live stream asking for people to financially help him move Candle in with him all the way from Mississippi to Akron. According to Chance, this is necessary because her parents are allegedly abusive and have kicked her out, rendering her homeless. He further establishes that she's disabled and half blind, much like himself, and that her parents have been stealing her disability money away from her, going as far as—
bro, that can't possibly be legal, bro. Out for the benefit of the baby, bro. 2 people that are disabled and 2 people that are blind, bro. Bro, that shouldn't be able to. You should not be able to have babies, bro. Just so the child doesn't have to go through that, bro. This is crazy works, bro. Well, no, he said they want to get married. I'm skipping to the baby part. Hopefully they don't, bruh.
Shredding Candle's debit card when it came in the mail to prevent her from making her own purchases and taking her car keys away from her to keep her from taking it with her. What is particularly strange about this whole ordeal is that just a day later, Candle herself makes a comment saying, "Why would I come to you after the way you did me?"
Oh damn, she not even no more, bruh.
This makes it sound a lot like they were no longer together by the time Chance made this stream, despite him referring to her as his girlfriend multiple times in it. He proceeds to block her and make a post about her, saying, "How the f do I always end up with all these girls who are not right in the head? Is it too much to ask for a normal, healthy relationship?" Not to reaffirm—
Yo, cry troll with the tier 1. W-Sub! Shout out to Cry Troll, bro. For a second, I thought your name said Cyraxx. I would say, bro, imagine Cyraxx was in stream, bro, but no.
The idea that there's something wrong with Candle, but it's hardly a mystery why Cyraxx can't get into a normal, healthy relationship. In any event, while we don't exactly know what's going on behind the scenes with Candle and him, he tried—
you gave that to Chicken, to Chitsutsu. Yo, shout out to you.
This is best to play it cool for the rest of the month, telling the usual lies about having fans and being a professional drift racer in real life. Ultimately, his strategy of just letting the Candle situation burn itself out didn't work, because she made some kind of video about him called Chance Wilkins is Insane, which is unfortunately private and there's no way of accessing it. We only know of its existence because Cyraxx made a post about it on Facebook saying, "I'm sitting here in tears because of this girl. She has done nothing but harass me, bully me, and spread rumors about me that are not true, and refuses to stop, and the police refuse to help." Well, there's no telling what she truly said. A comment left on the post by Eric Scrubbelow suggests that Candle has given out Chance's address and recommended people harass him in some fashion. The year 2019 starts out with an immediate welfare check, as reported by the police.
I thought I thought they said, because didn't they say he had already attempted to choke out his grandma? I mean, I knew he wasn't living by himself, but he's still
though its details have been redacted and we don't know what's in them. However, they might be, and probably are, related to the havoc that was recently wreaked in Cyraxx's life by Candle.
Chance Wilkins is feeling unstoppable with Stephanie.
his Facebook, he initially expresses some relief, saying, "I want to say thank you to everyone. Because of all of you, Candle has been stopped and her posts and videos removed." Unbeknownst to his Facebook friends at the time, what was actually responsible for taking Candle's videos down about him was a deal he struck with her, in which neither would mention each other's name anymore online. Chance, thinking himself clever, did his usual routine of posting about a person while setting it up so that they wouldn't be able to see it. However, Candle had an alternate Facebook account she used specifically to check up on Cyraxx's, and upon discovering he was still mentioning her and hadn't taken his post down about her, she nonchalantly said, "Haha, still here, not all the posts are taken down, he broke the deal." The same day, he makes another post about her, attaching a video she had just made accusing him of being obsessed with her, saying, "I give everyone full permission to go all out on this bitch. I held my end of our deal up and removed all videos and posts about her, and she pulls this crap?" The comment section in this post is riddled with Candle making fun of Cyraxx and offering to show anyone interested the threatening voicemail he left for her. We actually have a recording of Candle listening to the voicemails.
So you want to keep playing that game? I will have you arrested for harassment. So guess what? I ain't the one going to jail. The one that's going to jail is you. So keep running your mouth, you little bitch. Guarantee you're on to go to jail.
On January 7th, he makes yet another post about her, claiming she mentally and verbally abused him and traumatized him worse than any of his other exes. On the 9th, he posts about her again, which prompts her to make a video addressing him a day later. This time, we do have access to the video, which is still up on YouTube.
Yo, this is your girl Rebecca. This is a video to prove how bad of a stalker Chance is. He sat there and found out where I live. Not creepy at all. Not a stalker vibe at all. You're so stupid, kid. Leave me alone. I don't like you. Never liked you. I was nice to you because I felt bad for you, and then I found out you're a liar. You just butthurt because I won't date you. Stop fucking harassing me, you nutcase.
Where did that dog just spawn from, bruh?
I was nice to you because I felt bad for you, and then I found out you're a liar. You just butthurt because I won't date you. Stop fucking harassing me, you nutcase.
Her speech patterns are odd and sometimes even similar to that of Chance's, which has led some to speculate she herself is and always has been a troll. However, judging from the nature of her online activity during this period, it seems she's quite serious about what she's saying. On the 11th, she makes another video deriding Chance and all his threats, with the added bonus that she gets her friend to say,
I want you to leave my girl alone. You are not a player. You is.
This is her new boyfriend? Oh, wait, is this her boyfriend? Take that, Okita. Hold on.
about what she's saying. On the 11th, she makes another video deriding Chance and all his threats, with the added bonus that she gets her friend to say,
Her friend.
I want you to leave my girl alone.
Oh, no, that's her boyfriend. Leave my girl. Is that Drewski? Man, don't disrespect Drewski. Oh, it's not. Bro.
You are not a player. You is a dirty stalker. You is not a gangster just over here running your mouth and saying all kind of crazy ass. You just leave her alone and give her up. You ain't gonna have that or nothing.
Chance's response was to make a post explaining how to block her and that none of his friends should answer whatever she sends them. Regardless, she keeps on making uploads, claiming that Cyraxx has tried to blackmail her and that he's on psychiatric medications for various different issues, though these claims have not been verified, but it wouldn't be surprising. Breaking his own promise to no longer talk about her, he answers again, saying, y'all want to know why I've been making such a big deal about Candle and her BS? It's because she could end up costing me a very real shot with the major non-profit label Reborn Records, who has been liking my work for some time now, and that's why I've been telling people to report her channel and her videos. This label could change everything for me that I've worked harder than anyone to get, so yeah, this isn't just a little issue. This is huge and she needs to be stopped ASAP. Given how obsessively Cyraxx has answered to every single person who has ever gone after him, this was just a convenient excuse for him to do what he would have done anyway. Case in point, one of the people in the music business he'd emailed with his garbage decided to take the time.
Do I like her? No, definitely. Wait, what?
Out of their day and explained to him why his music was unlistenable to any sort of record label. The issue is that your demos all use loops. I know you don't have a full setup right now, but I know loads of producers who can use all the music making software, and even if they don't have one, they use a Casio keyboard or a phone. You can create custom music on anything. The problem with loops is it's not your music, it's just choosing music. We need to see you grab a MIDI keyboard and put in those notes, make those beats on an MPC, or even just a cheap MIDI keyboard. We're a record label. We're not in the business of training people or recruiting people with potential. I wish we were, but that would make our clients very unhappy. You need to understand it's my job to find the best of the best out there. Think of it like a sports team. Let's say you're recruiting for the top baseball team in the state. If I pick a guy that hasn't played in a while or isn't a pro level yet, he's going to be rusty and he's not going to be ready. We are not an education group, a school, or a charity. We are a record label that pays people up front for quality beats. We want top quality musicians who make their own stuff. Not rip it, not loop it, just create. Now, dude, don't take me the wrong way. I'm just trying to get you to understand that if you want to make it as a producer in this world, you're going to have to make your own beats. And maybe you can if it's true like you say, but I don't see that. All you've shown me is some
in Discord, bro, but I don't even want to hear that, bro. Fries.
loops and then some songs you've downloaded from other producers. Most labels would not give you the time I had given you to explain all of this. They would simply
Yo, Cry Trial with a tier 1 to Mayo. Is Mayo in chat? Is Mayo in the chat, bruh? I know, wait, actually, I think Mayo said they had to leave, bruh. They'll be wondering where they got that sub from next stream for sure. For sure. Oh, Mayo is in the chat. Yo, W Mayo, bruh.
we just shun you aside and tell you
Biblio? Oh, Biblio Bella.
not to go. But no, I think you're a good dude. Whatever kind soul wrote this happened to be wrong on 2 counts. First off, he claimed not to be a charity, but this is probably the most charitable action anyone has ever bestowed to Cyraxx so far. And secondly, he says Cyraxx is a good dude. Well, Cyraxx attached a picture of this email to a post he made on Facebook, which read, "This is the kind of that pisses me off. They act all interested, then once I explain my situation, they pull this and kindly tell me to off. Oddly enough, while the sheer effort in communicating the truth to Cyraxx in the nicest way possible wasn't enough to pierce the concrete wall between chance and reality, it was sufficient enough to get other people who saw the post to side with the person who sent the email. People pointed out that his answer was well put together, and that he went out of his way to inform Cyraxx, but even when all of his friends saw the man's point, Cyraxx outright refused to. In a comment, he linked to some rant video he did that explained why what the guy said was unfair, and while the video has since been taken down and we can't watch it anymore, we can presume he did his usual rigmarole of saying that due to being born all kinds of quirked up, copyright laws shouldn't apply to him. One of his friends was particularly poignant when he said, "He's nicely trying to tell you that you are stealing music. If you make any money from that, you can be sued for copyright infringement, plagiarism, etc. Why would a record label pay you to do that? This very nice person is 100% right. No, I'm not watching your rant video." In another post a few days later, it turns out that the guy with whom Cyraxx had been exchanging emails, who happened—
Would you rather live with Cyraxx or be homeless? Those are two crazy options, not gonna lie, bro. Not gonna lie. I don't want to live with Cyraxx. I don't want to be homeless, but I'll be real, bro. Cyraxx, he not doing nothing to me though, bro. If I was living with Cyraxx, bro, I'd have him terrified to come in my room, bro. Genuinely, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can't be homeless, bro.
to be a representative for a record label called Reborn Records, eventually caught wind of Cyraxx's little post and video complaining about the reply he got. Being rightfully upset that the kindness he extended was met with mockery, he decided to send him another email addressing it. By the way, bitching about it on Facebook won't get you anywhere. Seriously, man, I was trying to help you, but instead of facing up to a challenge, you just think everyone is against you. Rethink your process. Has this way of working really been working for you, or has it not? I suspect the latter. Stay humble, learn the tools, and maybe you'll get a shot. But going around thinking we owe you something for nothing, dude, we're a record label, not a charity. Your situation is that you don't have anything to show me that is original work. How can I hire you? Would you write in your CV that you worked at a big company, then at the interview say, oh, by the way, I didn't actually work at that company, but if you just give me a chance? Nah, dude. Cyraxx reacted by making another post with the email attached, captioned, "This just proves even more how messed up record labels can be these days. SMH, what happened to the days where labels used to actually care about the artist and not the money?" He speaks as if sharing their communications highlighted anything beyond his inability to be cooperative on even the most basic level, and his profound stupidity. Oh, and he also forgot to close the X videos tab he had opened while they took a screenshot of the email and could—
X videos, bro. Bro, we screenshot his Boom tab. Bro, nah, gang, nah. Bro forgot to close the tab. He's crazy, bro.
Couldn't be bothered to crop it so it wouldn't be visible. In the comments, people began pointing out that Reborn's representative said nothing incorrect.
Somebody said he did this mid-goon, but no way. No way you ain't close out your tab, bruh.
Once again, and it seemed like he was finally getting to Cyraxx. And I say seemed because it only seemed that way, and he made it very clear that he understood nothing of what that guy had said. In a reply to one of the comments, Chance said the following: "Point is, they approached me wanting to sign me. I didn't approach them at all, and to be fair, I explained my situation fully, and yet what do? They slap me in the face like I'm some sort of joke. I don't own a computer, I own a Chromebook, which is like a PC, but can only run mobile-based apps and such." His excuse for not making original work, being that he doesn't own a computer, is not only a lie because he does have a computer, but it also makes no sense. As the representative pointed out, there are plenty of mobile apps that allow you to make custom music on your phone. Cyraxx actually even uses some of them. He just chooses to use the demo loops instead of making new patterns. When argued into a corner by his Facebook friends, he drops a new video on his page saying that Reborn Records is fake because they checked out his personal page. He also claims that unlike Reborn, his very own record label, Bloodshot, helps artists make money for themselves. A tall order considering he's one of the artists in Bloodshot and has no money whatsoever. This video is particularly difficult to watch because he's noticeably thirsty, but he refuses to drink a glass of water, which results in him gulping saliva amidst his speech.
It don't matter whether you build it from the ground up, like on FL Studios.
It seems—
Bro, take a sip of water. Bro, nobody's holding you hostage, bro.
That near the end, the dehydration and general lack of mental faculties start getting to him, as he briefly forgets he's already on his own label, and thus has no need to be signed to any, despite his incessant begging to be signed by one, and he seemingly on accident drops the hard R. Seeing that this strategy of and begging to be signed by one, and he seemingly on accident drops the hard R.
On accident?
Seeing that this strategy of trying to say things related to the actual topic is failing terribly, he returns to his usual tactic of claiming he's being discriminated against due to people finding him hideous beyond comprehension. Then he threatens Reborn with diss tracks and claims he sleeps 5 hours a week, which, though an obvious lie, would explain a lot of his behavior since it's that degree of sleep deprivation that makes people hallucinate. Also, for the first time in a very long time, he acknowledges that he went back to jail in 2012 only to use it as an excuse for why he's unemployed, while neglecting to mention he choked out his elderly adoptive mother. His heyday with Reborn Records is cut short by the resurgence of Candle, who was threatening to show the label company the video she saved of Cyraxx attempting to blackmail her. We have no proof that Candle's words are backed up by anything, but it seems Cyraxx was pretty terrified of potentially being arrested, so maybe there's something to her claims. However, he ended up not being arrested because, according to him, he hid until the police left and proceeded to call for Sally. Without missing a beat, he converts this situation into another excuse as to why he isn't signed to a record label or doing songs with big artists. A day later, though, he's back to his grind, this time as a professional YouTube channel intro maker. Again, he's using freeware that an 8-year-old can operate that automatically makes these intros and tries to sell them off. As you can see, the name of the channel and the intro he made here is Nuclear Reactor. That also happens to be
like every single YouTube intro in 2015, bruh.
The name of the reaction channel he'd made at the time. Soon after, people began taking issue with his use of the N-word, which prompted Cyraxx to claim he was being victimized. He makes a post trying to defend himself, but none of his friends side with him. Noticing that the tides had shifted radically against him, his reaction was to simply begin blocking anyone who expressed they disagreed with him, under the guise that it was to clear his account from any of Candle's minions. Cyraxx has a rough start to the month of February, with Sally calling the police over threats to Cyraxx from a female online, whom we can only presume is Candle. On the 6th, he makes a post calling out those who aren't willing to pay for his beats, saying, "You know what confuses me? All these artists say they want beats from me, and they're all willing to pay $10 for 10 solid beats to own flat out. Then when the time comes, they turn tail back out and run off. Like WTF? And y'all wonder why I can't make it as a producer? That's the reason. Cause too many mofos want to play games and try and take advantage of me. They don't respect music anymore, and how simple but dope-ass loop-style beats like I do evolved into what they are now. Sorry to say, but half you mainstream guys need to learn and do your music history and take a look at where music started with guys like Bach, Beethoven. Do your history, take the time to hone your craft the right way, and stop half-assing shit. Or don't do it at all. Plain and simple. It seems that after the pressure created by Reborn Records' response, Cyraxx started admitting that everything he does relies on pre-made loops. However, in the comments, he can be seen still claiming that they're original and made from the ground up. Later on in the month, he claims to be retiring from music due to a few people who have been consistently trolling him on his YouTube videos comment sections. In a Donnie Darko-esque turn of events, on the night of the 25th of February, a tree in the neighboring area decides to troll Cyraxx's house by falling very close to it. Without his
troll his house. Crazy wording right there, bruh. But that's crazy wording, bruh.
hesitation, he uses this to start talking about how the tree could have easily killed him. After this,
wait, took this from the tree that fell last night to serve as a reminder of how lucky I got, bro. Go put that tree bark back on the tree, bruh. Call the tree removal service so they can get that removed from the crib, gang.
close call, there's a period of irrelevant developments and 2 mostly redacted police reports coming from Cyraxx's house until mid to late March, when Candle comes back with new, even more scathing accusations.
Alright, this is a live video on Facebook. I got something to address to all those mothers out there. All you mothers out there that have young children.
Here we go. What has he done, bruh?
Be warned of this guy named Chance Wilkins. He'll on your children. Not only be warned of this guy named Chance Wilkins. He'll off on your children.
Did she say goon off on the kids?
Not only that, he'll sit there and video chat with them. He'll sit there and threaten children if they don't sleep with him. They will do whatever they can. He would literally hurt you. This man is psychotic, dangerous. Women, be warned. His name is Chance Wilkins. If you want his link, it's right there on the description, whatever you want to call it.
Again, while we have no concrete confirmation as to what Candle's allegations pertain to, it seems that they, along with whatever she was sharing directly through Facebook messages, were sufficient enough to persuade 2 women who were particularly close to Cyraxx, being Becky, who once called in a welfare check on him, and Abby, who, as we learned from a video Cyraxx posted in June 2019, reunited with him in April, only to break up with him again over whatever the information was that Candle shared with her. While many have disputed Candle due to her strange mannerisms, it seems that she was one of the first people to be aware of Cyraxx's darker side and truly invested in keeping it at bay.
Yes.
So much.
That's why when he date women, he almost always dates one with children. Ew.
so that she called 2 welfare checks on Cyraxx's house, presumably to intimidate him with police presence. We even have audio of at least one of her welfare check calls she made.
Hi, I'm calling about a welfare check that needs to be done.
Okay, and who are we checking on?
Chance Wilkins. He was just on YouTube a few moments ago threatening to kill me and a few other of my friends. And I think he's going off his rocker, and I think he might be a danger to himself and others.
Within a month of the last welfare check she called in, based on what we can see on Chance's profile, it seems that word spread that Candle had taken her own life, and according to Cyraxx,
danger to himself and others.
Within a month of the last welfare check she called in, based on what we can see on Chance's profile, it seems that word spread that Candle had taken her own life.
What? What? I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'll be real though, bro. This is crazy. Crazy if this is true. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but she wasn't all the way there mentally, bro. You can tell. Neither of them, but her too. Like, what though? Wait, screw everyone blaming me for Candle's death. I had nothing to do with her death. I'll be real, chat. What do y'all think? I mean, I don't think... This is crazy, bro.
And according to Cyraxx, unnamed people began blaming him for her passing. Later on, we discovered that she hadn't died at all, but...
Oh my god. That's why I held what I was about to say, bro. Like, what, bro?
Regardless, the rumor was enough to stress Cyraxx out. The information about Candle having supposedly passed hit the Juggalo-adjacent communities that Cyraxx has spent the better part of a decade sharing his music to, and that flipped a major switch. What kicked it off was when Cyraxx was invited to appear on a show called the Juggalo Drama Alert, where he was asked by the host, Fred the Boy Blue, to explain his situation with Candle. Noticing how much of an absolute character Cyraxx was, Fred had him appear in multiple episodes right after, and this grew Chance's popularity exponentially. Whereas he had 1 or 2 trolls who intermittently impersonated him before, he was now attracting a group of troll followers who were dedicated. While still in their developmental stages, they would eventually become the co-stars of the reality show Cyraxx's life is about to be. Around the same time, though we don't have the exact date, he began dating Heather, but not the same Heather as before. With new Heather, at some point during 2019, he made a video about how cyberbullying and other kinds of lead to doing something drastic. While we don't know the date this video went up, if it came out before Candle began role-playing as if she had passed away, there's a very good chance her faking her death was to make it seem like Cyraxx had done exactly the thing he denounced and cyberbullied someone to the grave. For a while, the trolls did little besides sending outlandish threats of all sorts to Cyraxx, even going as far as calling his home phone to inform him that they had planted a bomb in Sally's car, which Cyraxx reported to the police, and once the car was checked out and no device was found in it, he made a video on his Facebook page mocking his trolls. Eventually, they evolved and realized that if they were going
bomb threat, lost video, audio only. What?
to get any quality lolcow content out of him, they would have to be working on the inside. One of the first to do it was by the name of Boogeyman, who began interacting directly with Cyraxx and even received a voice message from him explaining the Candle situation. Around the same time, a Juggalo act called the Bender Boys also got involved in trolling Cyraxx in some unknown fashion, earning the ire of the Madman of Akron. While it gets increasingly difficult to find the exact dates and details for things from around this time, the closest I found was that a channel very tightly associated with the Bender Boys, called Brooklyn Menace, posted a video edit of Cyraxx playing around with a samurai sword under the title Cyraxx Shaolin. After a month or so of gratuitously terrorizing him, the more sophisticated trolls took a page out of the Daniel Larson textbook, deciding to pose as a record label interested in signing Cyraxx. In late October, he posted a video about how he finally made it.
See, a lot of people don't realize it, but thanks to the haters over on YouTube on my new channel, I got some exposure, got hooked up with a major underground artist who just happens to be working with some big names in the industry.
After years of struggling as an independent musician, he finally succeeds. And to follow this poetic note, it appears that the new Heather is spending some time at the Cyraxx household, as we have footage of her from around this time, kissing.
Ew, bruh. Bro, nah, it's just him, bruh. But his archive actually getting a little bit of views.
Here's that the new Heather is spending some time at the Cyraxx household, as we have footage of her from around this time, kissing Cyraxx and fighting trolls alongside him. It is shocking to see that Heather physically chokes and coughs upon kissing.
Heather, you did this? free. Did you think clout was gonna come with this, bruh? Transferred she's got infected with the Cyraxx virus. Man, hell nah, man. Heather, why did you do this? Why did you do this?
Saying what has been dubbed by the trolls the trench mouth.
Bruh.
However,
She immediately started coughing afterwards. Man, hell nah, bro. She got the cheese touch ×7.
good times don't always last. I believe that October of 2019 is the most accurate time frame for the rise of Cyraxx's arch nemesis and primary troll, the king of Akron, Music Biz Marty. From what is available online, we can deduce that Music Biz Marty approached Cyraxx as someone interested in managing his merch shop, only to proceed to claim control over the merch store and play the role of a cartoonishly greedy corporate record label executive who tricked Cyraxx into signing away the rights of all of his merchandise to the evil Ram Ranch Records. In a video from this period, Cyraxx can be seen begging for Marty to stop what he's doing and pretending to cry while asking to be left alone.
Cyraxx in tears over Ram Ranch merch shop? Was that his merch?
You are degrading me. You're ruining my image as an artist, as a person. You are sick.
In order to play Cyraxx for a fool more effectively, he creates a false dichotomy between Ram Ranch Records and Bender Boys Records, which he was also indirectly in control of. It becomes very difficult to verify.
Somebody said, why you kiss that frog? Yo, chat, be honest, bro. Kiss Cyraxx or kiss a frog? What was it, bro? Ain't that one of the princess stories, bro? You gotta kiss the frog to become king or queen. I don't know. One of them Disney movies. One of them.
Whether this manifestation of the Bender Boys has any direct relation to the previous one, and how exactly Cyraxx's relationship with the Juggernaut ended, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter that much. This period was rife with Cyraxx's participations on the Juggalo show, including one where he appears to be freestyling a diss track on Marty, who is also in the call.
Hey, who is throwing that? Hey, bro! Oh, Queen Juggalo. Okay, I thought this was Cyraxx throwing yams. Violent George, yo, who is all these people inside this call, bruh?
A Juggalette and member of IP2 named
What the? I don't know if that's a queen, bruh.
Gucci's twerks to his bars. You could not make this up if you tried to. In early November, the setup concocted by Marty and the Bender Boys comes into play, as Cyraxx is convinced he has successfully escaped the talons of Ram Ranch Records by joining the Bender Boys label. Despite this taking place only a couple of weeks after his supposed signing to Juggernaut, after believing he joined the Bender Boys, he delivered one of, if not the funniest moment
Clout, bruh. Archive got 37K views on this one
during the entirety of the Cyraxx story. To celebrate it, he posts a video wearing what looks to be an oversized pleather jacket and sunglasses, all of which is juxtaposed against the regular scenario of his insane asylum white-walled containment zone he calls a bedroom. He begins the video by drinking some kind of clearly non-alcoholic beige fluid, as if it were champagne, before proceeding to give shout-outs to any and every person he's ever interacted with, like he was receiving a Grammy. Another noticeable thing is the change in his affectation. He puts on a slight...
Oh, who is he? He's feeling... Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is who he always wanted to be, bro. The shorty throwing ad to his music, bruh. He done got what else should happen, bruh? He feeling too cool for school now, bruh. He got some shades now, bruh. Like, who he feeling like?
Lately New York accent with Ebonics to go with it.
I figured I'd come in, celebrate, kick it, chill. Got a brand new dope track dropping with some of the homies.
Cyraxx can also be seen visibly calculating the best moments for him to take off his sunglasses dramatically, and he does it when he decides to talk about how the deal with BBR will help him take care of his kids. He obviously does not have, and I'm not even sure he's physiologically capable of having, kids, and what he's referring to here are new Heather's kids, but we'll explain that part in a little bit. Eventually, he's joined on a stream by someone with whom he's planning to drop a song, and we later learn that dropping a song and music video was a part of his contract with BBR. The song comes out, and it sounds like you'd expect it to. And now, the other shoe drops. Alleging that his single underperformed terribly, Bender Boys Records called Cyraxx up to deliver some bad news.
Yo, Cyraxx, I got an announcement to make. The video's not doing as well as we thought it was going to.
Well, I could have told you, Burger Music. Well, I could have told you that. I hear TikTok audio, bro. He lucky he not on TikTok. Back then, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Cause that song was so bad. It was so, you know how a song be so bad, it's so good at the same time. Like it'll just be so bad, it'll go viral, bro.
Speaking with the team here at Bender Boys Records, they deemed you unmanageable.
What? Wait. Run back. Wait. Hold on.
And now, the other shoe drops. Alleging that his single underperformed terribly, Bender Boys Records called Cyraxx up to deliver some bad news.
Yo, Cyraxx, I got an announcement to make. The video's not doing as well as we thought it was going to. Speaking with the team here at Bender Boys Records, they deemed you unmanageable.
How?
We had to sell your contract, man.
Wait.
Oh my goodness. Imagine your song being so bad, you get fired. Damn. Wait, it says, wait, Cyraxx Bender Boy Records freaks out. He about to freak out?
What the fuck? Are you serious right now?
We sold
You're
it this
not
morning.
Are you fucking serious? I put in all that hard work for nothing? Are you serious right now? Bro, you're fucking stupid. I put in all that hard work for you and the crew for what?
Do you want to know who we sold it to?
I already know. Music, you already fucking come back.
As of that day onward, Cyraxx and his music were the intellectual property of none other than Music Biz Marty, and things can only get worse from there. Due to Heather's very close...
Chat, be honest, how much y'all think they sold his catalog for, bruh? He back then, what he was trying to sell beats for 50 cents. How much do y'all think his catalog was even worth, bruh?
Involvement with Cyraxx's online presence, she was often seen alongside him during his live streams, which was Cyraxx's main vehicle of communication at this point. While it didn't look like she was very interested in Chance as a romantic partner, perhaps the attention he got online, even if negative, was her motive.
I would have sold his catalog for a Chick-fil-A sandwich, bruh.
And if it was attention she was after, she definitely got it. On November 22nd, one of Cyraxx's anonymous trolls makes a phone call reporting that Chance was being mean and violent to Heather, taking her phone by force and refusing to give it back. The results of this call have been archived since the police showed up at the house during another one of the Juggalo congregations, prompting Cyraxx to immediately tell Heather to follow him upstairs, also known as the Goblin Hideout, for whenever someone visits his house. The police were told that they were sleeping and that the call was a prank. However, 3 days later, that call prophetically came true, as on the 25th another police report was filed, this time by someone named Mike. In it, Chance is described as hitting his girlfriend during a live stream on YouTube, but I haven't managed to find any video to match that specific date. When the police arrived at the location, the two were spoken with and claimed there was no occurrence. Given the lack of hard evidence, we can presume that Chance did no such thing. I mean, just months before posting, he was posting videos to his Facebook about how a man that lays his hands on a woman is a coward. There's no way he was projecting, right? Well, a day after, during a live stream Heather was a part of where she was talking to one of the people following the Cyraxx story, Cyraxx himself eventually intervenes and is seen attempting to yank the phone out of Heather's hand violently, which some saw as an overly aggressive action. The same day, a troll once again made a call to Akron PD to report what had happened, and they
Cyraxx really do look like an off-brand, like a withered Cecil from Invincibles, bruh.
Conducted a welfare check. Not only do we have what was on the police report, which claimed Heather was acknowledging Chance's abuse to the person she was live streaming with, we also have the phone call made by the troll.
Chance J. Wilkins, he's a 28 or 29-year-old man. He had struck his girlfriend, Heather Porter, who is currently pregnant.
Just 2 days later, the same person Heather was talking to on the live stream was investigating further into her lore and ended up interviewing Jessica, Heather's former wife. Man, things just get more and more complicated, don't they? It turns out that Heather left her wife with their 2 kids in order to link up with DJ Shadowblade. As 2020 approached, it became clear that any semblance of humanity the tale of Cyraxx ever possessed was doomed to be extinguished by the relentless activity of malicious trolls and Cyraxx himself, of course. All of his hobbies took the backseat as he began doing nothing but participating in live streams and endlessly interacting with people either pretending to be fans or explicitly insulting and mocking him to his face. In late December 2019, he can be seen boxing through Google Hangouts with someone named Suplex City Vlog, and it's
Bro, what type of e-boxing am I witnessing, bruh?
It's exactly what it sounds like. January 2020 begins with Cyraxx claiming he's becoming a gamer once and for all, and considering his extensive use of the N-word, I think he's always been one. On the 4th, he loses a bet he made with fellow troll Schmeckelcat that he could keep his cool against the trolls and not flip out for a week. Supposedly, losing this bet cost him $100, but I'm pretty sure Cyraxx has never even seen a $100 bill. In a video of his where he derides Jamie Nicole for her in Heather's past life, he can be heard calling Juggernaut Records. He probably had a
oh my god. Yo, Cyraxx, yeah, you're canceled, buddy. Yeah, you're never getting that record deal back, bro.
bad falling out with them, which is unsurprising since that name is closely associated with the Bender Boys. On the 12th, pictures of Cyraxx's dick leak via Discord. Initially, many thought they were fake, including CGC.
Wait, Cyraxx hacked first appearance of his weenie pics? Nah, wait, DJ, take your cheeks, let me in. Bro, what is this profile pic? Who are you in calls with, bruh? Who is DJ, take your cheeks, bruh?
Who's responsible for some of the best archiving and documenting of Cyraxx's story. However, upon their reporting on Jamie Nicole's channel, a commenter, presumably Heather, started saying he'd been hacked and was asleep when it happened. What was noteworthy about this is that it was neither a defense nor a denial, and given how often Cyraxx and his cohorts have used being hacked as an excuse for their behavior, it's most likely a lie as well. Not only was the picture his, it was probably acquired by a catfish who persuaded Cyraxx into cheating on Heather. After all, Heather and Cyraxx were living together at this time. I'm not sure what use a picture of his Willie would have been to her, especially since it was clear that they were already not on very good terms.
Hit me and I'll knock your lights out.
In the wake of the leak, Cyraxx says that he'll be taking a step back from being online, but in a video from just a couple of days later, he qualifies it by saying he'll only take a step back from the streams, but will continue to be as online as ever on other fronts because according to him, he comes from a family of artists and has art deep in his blood. This is cause for concern since there's only one thing he has a family history of, and it's not art. Later on in the month, Heather and Cyraxx are back to streaming and Heather has completely hijacked the transmission, standing in the foreground while Cyraxx hovers around in the back taking her commands. The two begin attacking Jamie Nicole for her coverage of the couple's mishaps, including but not limited to Cyraxx's pictures. And once Cyraxx calls her retarded, Heather starts telling him not to use that word and tells him to go take some stuff out so she can deal with it on her own. Then, while Heather starts accusing Jamie of not being a real juggalo, which is as scathing of an insult as they could come up with, Cyraxx comes in unsolicited and starts insulting Jamie for being a lesbian. This visibly irritates Heather since she was at one point in a relationship with a woman, as Jamie had revealed. Being unfazed by their milquetoast attacks, Jamie proceeds to report on and lambast the GoFundMe Cyraxx and Heather had set up with the intent of raising money to take back Heather's kids from Jessica. Now, I'm not sure in what situation Jessica was in or if she was capable of taking care of 2 kids, but there's no way they would be better off in Cyraxx's house. Full stop. Either way, they would have just pocketed the GoFundMe money since legally I'm pretty sure they couldn't get the kids and a fundraiser page could do nothing about that. When Heather wasn't around to monopolize the camera, Cyraxx made his own diss video against Jamie where he threatened to physically beat her. What an absolute class act, guys. After complaining about his private parts being posted online.
Bro, that happens, bro. I remember 9th grade, bro. Shout out to my dog Roger, bro. He was dating Shorty on the basketball team, bro. And she broke up with him to go date a girl. And don't, hey, bro. That's why I ain't gonna lie, bro. I mean, it's cool if you buy it, whatnot, but just let me know, bro. Cause boy, bro, I remember that boy was heartbroken for a month. Boy, it be like that though. It really do be like that, bruh.
And having ruined his chances of ever getting a job or being signed to a label, 2 things that, keep in mind, had never happened up until this point, he's challenged to a fist fight by one of his trolls, Juggalo John. The story goes that John did indeed go to Cyraxx's house, but Cyraxx, as he always—
Wait, what does this say? Cyraxx can't get a job because his meat pics leaked. What? You made a video on this, bruh? What?
John. The story goes that John did indeed go to Cyraxx's house, but Cyraxx, as he always does, hid in the attic until John went away, and when it was nighttime, he came out and had Heather record him acting tough in front of some swing sets.
John, I'm down here by the community center where LeBron James first got started, right there.
He said LeBron James?
Came out and had Heather record him acting tough in front of some swing sets.
What's up, John?
Why are you arguing at a playground?
Down here by the community center where LeBron James first got started, right there, boy. You're talking about showing your up. Here I am ready for your ass. Your phone guys say show up, you coward.
Bro, leave LeBron out of this, bruh. We know you in Akron, Ohio, bruh. Leave LeBron James out of this, bruh.
His next move is to try to take down Music Biz Marty and his merch store by claiming that he owns copyright on his work, which is very ironic considering that all the artwork is stolen, of course. A day after publicly defending her honor and saying that Heather is the greatest mother in the world, Heather calls the cops to report people threatening Cyraxx online. The modern Romeo and Juliet. A few days later, Cyraxx made a fake account on YouTube called Shadow King, and using a voice changer, he starts pretending to be an impartial third party who happens to defend Cyraxx and Heather against the trolls. On another video from February, he reveals that Jessica has apparently charged Cyraxx with civil assault, though it's unsure what for. He uses this, along with the trolls, as an excuse as to why he's unemployed, blaming the trolls for your personal failures, another great lolcow classic. In order to exact justice for what had been done to him, he challenges Marty and his other trolls to step up to the mic and rap battle him. However, upon failing time and time again to defeat the trolls, he decides to step away from social media to focus on his artwork, and he claims it's somehow related to a book his great-grandmother released, making making him realize he needs to focus more on being an artist. But given what he had just said, following this video, he actually managed to spend exactly 1 month away from his social media. But it's more likely that Sally grounded him for a month with no access. On the 15th of March, he comes back guns blazing, accusing Jessica of being a kidnapper for not letting Heather and Cyraxx raise her 2 kids. After this, there's another long break from archive videos, probably due to another punitive measure from Sally, who is beginning to realize Cyraxx could get in some serious trouble for constantly making allegations like that online. After this, he only resurges in May to give his final farewell to YouTube due to the cyberbullying he's undergoing. He's now under the name of Scarface with an X in the middle, and is visibly inhabiting the basement. He also announces a new label, and the first thing he makes sure to establish is how he'll be taking 30% of his artist income, despite not being interested in establishing anything contractually with them. However, soon after, he basically admits that his entire family is telling him to stop being online, and he reiterates this 2 days later. But just 3 days later, he comes back, declaring he's now officially an e-racer because a retired professional motorcycle racer said he's really good at Forza Horizon. Another 3 days later, he comes back to tell everyone that his relationship with Heather was officially over. While he explains it in a way that's favorable to him, it's clear even through his retelling that he was threatening to hurt himself in a manipulative way. And when she didn't budge because she knew he was incapable of such a thing, he posted a video online crying about the incident, claiming that she's heartless. I should make a note here that he's just making a crying voice and turn the lights off so it would be less noticeable that he's not crying. Just a day later, he's back doing his usual gimmick.
Heather, Heather, Heather. When are you gonna learn, little girl, that calling you out on your bullshit like I did last night, that's not a threat? I did not threaten you in any way, shape, or form.
Again, Cyraxx is the master of inadvertently telling on himself, and from the video, we can gather that Heather is alleging he's been threatening her. Maybe he noticed that trying to intimidate Heather with his WWE persona made him look bad, so the very same day he goes back to pretending to cry in the dark about the incident. Right after, he makes another video wherein he admits to having gotten physical with her at least once, meaning he is officially back to his domestic violence arc. In the immediate follow-up, we discover that Cyraxx is an MO. He tries to choke people out, and then when he gets in trouble for it, he claims he blacked out and did it while unconscious, which is apparently what he did to his grandmother in 2012.
Yeah. I blacked out and hurt you one time. One time, and I didn't even fucking hurt you. I had my hand like this around you, and it wasn't tight enough to choke you out either.
A day later, he posts this.
It appears to me that some of you think I lost my edge. Some of you think that I be—
Oh my god. What the hell is he doing, bro? Him in this damn flashlight and in the dark, bro. This is his favorite, like, evil supervillain scene, bro.
Became weak, and you guys were right. I did lose my edge, but guess what? I'm getting my edge back. That volatile, dark, evil music that I used to record is coming back. And guess who my first victim's gonna be? Yam Ranch Records.
On the same day, an assault was reported, and Cyraxx—
What? Bro, nah, he really did turn into a villain. Who he assaulted that day?
Cyraxx goes quiet for a little over a month. The details of the report show that Cyraxx assaulted Heather's brother, Michael, by punching him 3 times as he helped her move out of his house. During the latter half of June, he's back to live streaming, and in a moment in which his mom—
Oh, this is grandma?
is briefly seen on camera, Cyraxx covers the cam and attempts to complain about it, to which she responds with a magnanimous—
Well, that's just too flippin' bad.
On the 1st of July, he comes back again in a video titled New Look, New Attitude, New Knee, which I think was supposed to be me, probably, in which he says he's excited for the new year, despite being halfway into 2020. He's also wearing his grandmother's glasses to look more sophisticated. Then he drops a video to prove he doesn't actually steal beats, and in it, he plays the world's most horrid beat.
His mom is his grandma? Okay, so that is his grandma.
Take a listen to this shit. You hear that? You know what that sounds like? That sounds like hard work to me.
He then claims he's sitting on a potential multi-million-dollar contract with very serious record labels. On July 24th, he confirms what everyone already suspected. The GoFundMe they did, asking for $3,000 for court fees to get Heather's kids back, was being embezzled. While he neglects to mention what he might have used the money for, he shows that Heather bought $500 worth of wigs. 2 days later, he plays with a stick. Apparently, this is one of a long series of videos Cyraxx makes to prove that he can fight in order to intimidate Marty, with whom he's planning to have a fight.
So bring your ass on up here. Anybody that wants to fight me, y'all got my address. Bring your ass up here. I may be small, but believe me, I'm the last motherfucker that you want to box with.
A few weeks later, he goes back to fake crying about people saying he steals music and acts as if him throwing a fit is fine because in his eyes, he's been very successful at keeping his emotions in. What is completely beyond my comprehension is that, judging from a video from this period, not only does he seemingly have a decent microphone, he also has yet another girlfriend, somehow. To add to the insanity, he starts complaining that the trolls are the reason he gave up all the gifts he would have gotten on his birthday, so that his family could pay for the hospital bills that Sally had to pay due to a surgery she'd recently underwent. To bring back a leafy classic, a 30-year-old f***ing man complaining that the trolls are the reason why, and not the fact he's unemployed and won't look for a job. A 30-year-old f***ing man! On the 18th of September, he attempts to call a truce with the trolls. On the exact same day, he makes a video declaring war on all trolls for supposedly saying bad things.
You don't ever disrespect my military family.
He's about his military family. Mind you, at this point, he's already denounced his previous stepfather, who was in the military, for not being
That's what he looked like, bruh, from SML, bruh, Jeff.
good enough to Sally. This is one of the clearest examples of Cyraxx going out of his way to keep his feud with the trolls going because ultimately, he simply likes the attention he gets from it. Without them, he wouldn't be talking to anyone. It'd be the void like it was back in the day. A day later, he makes another upload titled, "We're All F***ed," where he attacks Joe Biden. After being put on his heels once again by the relentless troll campaigns against him, he goes back to pretending to cry and claiming that the trolls are responsible for Sally's blood pressure being high in a video titled, "Seriously Considering Leaving YouTube." Throughout all of this, he could simply heed his mom's request and stop being online, but that's too much to ask of him. After this, there's a period of relative inactivity until late October, when he reveals his stepfather, Ed, has overdosed. Besides also pretending to cry here, many have speculated that he just made this up either to garner pity or to get out of a rap battle he had scheduled around the same time. Later on in November, he makes a phone call to Marty where he pretends to be possessed by a demon and threatens him.
Hey, Marty, why don't you go take that fucking gun, put it to your head to pull the trigger, you fucking bitch.
He tries to sound like he's a demon and succeeds in sounding like he's drunk. A couple of weeks before another catfish attempt on Cyraxx is successful, and he sends videos of himself cranking it to a fake girl named Jazz. Catfish attempt on Cyraxx is successful, and he sends videos of himself cranking it to a fake girl named Jasmine, to the disappointment of his real-life then-girlfriend, Caitlin. Marty took this information to her, and apparently Cyraxx had agreed to take his account down and stop being online, so it was a surprise to her that he'd simply made another account and was uploading on there. After their 2-week-long relationship,
What you talking about? I was barely walking by the time they played.
Relationship dissolved due to his cheating, and Cyraxx attempting and failing to hire a hitman on Music Biz Marty, Caitlin gave an interview to Marty, and Cyraxx dedicated a love song to Heather, trying to woo her into coming back to his arms. Having failed to take his life, Cyraxx takes aim at Marty.
Wait, hold on. What you said, bruh? Chat, we gotta realize if Cyraxx can get girls, so can we. This is true, but is the type of girls Cyraxx can get the type of girls we want? Because let's get that fact, bro. Do we want Heather? Now, no offense to Heather. Do we want Heather? Kings and X, we talking about the 04 NBA playoffs? Who was playing? It wasn't that Lakers versus Pistons? Oh, I'm tripping.
To Heather, trying to woo her into coming back to his arms. Having failed to take his life, Cyraxx takes aim at Marty once again, giving him a final warning that if he doesn't delete his channel and stop this harassment, Cyraxx will not hesitate to give the police evidence that would put Marty in jail for copyright infringement. After Caitlin and her family talk to Marty and form a consensus that Cyraxx is insane, Cyraxx makes a video claiming that it was Caitlin's idea to try and hire a hitman to kill him. On the same day, he makes a video declaring that he's finally lost his will to fight and has officially turned into a soulless demon while he whispers menacingly from the darkness. Still not over Heather a whole half a year after her departure, he does a video fake crying while saying she has his baby and is planning to put the child under custody of the state so that Cyraxx won't have access to him. In a follow-up, his way of addressing this very serious mental and emotional situation is to call Heather a dumb bitch for an hour and 15 minutes while he plays a racing game, which, by the way,
Explain the real truth about Heather and how she's a deadbeat mother.
Is the only thing that can even be seen. He says that he called Heather about their supposed child and she denied it, but according to him, that's because she's a pathological liar and not because he got tricked into believing this by trolls. Also, just as a side note to this situation, but it's very doubtful if they ever even came close to conceiving a child, considering Heather's reaction to the trench mouth. He mentions that Heather supposedly had Sally and Ed banned from her workplace, meaning Cyraxx had his parents go and confront her instead of going himself. In a particularly creepy development, on the same day he records a video where he dedicates a freestyle to his unborn kid. After Marty says he knows where Heather is, Cyraxx threatens to beat his ass and says he could do it whenever he wants to. On the very last day of 2020, he flips out after getting a bundle of rope in the mail. 2021 begins with Cyraxx doing what sounds to be an Irish accent for no comprehensible reason.
It's your boy, Albert, to do a little bit of practice on some F1 2020.
Despite a hyperactive start to 2021, the rest of January is relatively uneventful, with February bearing some concerning news. Not only are rats sighted in Cyraxx's humble abode, but apparently his basement bed is suffering from a bed bug infestation, and it's severely affecting his health. This may be karma for the fact that, in his never-ending struggle against music biz Marty, Cyraxx turned to the dark side and decided to invoke the power of a very malignant political party in order to defeat him.
You gonna do some Rammstein?
Oh my God! No! Bruh. Bro, this dude Cyraxx don't even care, bruh. Come on, gang. What the hell? Bro, come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Bro, this just gang. He's just... Bro, get ate up by bed bugs, didn't do this, bruh. What the hell? What are you doing, bruh?
After being catfished by a troll and confessing to his fantasy of eating a Snickers out of somebody's defecation station, he enters into a relationship with someone by the handle of Tangerine Cat, a long-term covert troll of Marty's. In the middle of February, he threatens to Marty and another infamous troll of his, Schmeckle Cat, with his stepfather Ed's rifle, who definitely did not give permission for Cyraxx to use his gun to carry out a hit. Seeing that Cyraxx was approaching the 1,000 subs mark on his YouTube channel, he started a campaign for people to subscribe en masse with their troll alts. Then, when Cyraxx started celebrating, the next move was to unsubscribe en masse to see how he'd react. This was the result.
I did have 100. I did have 1K, but that was Marty.
Oh my
did up.
Notwithstanding, also.
So I mean, he definitely did say the N-word right there, bro. Who he, like, somebody, bro. It's the fact that one punch would just end his life, bro. Why they keep letting him get away with this?
So in February, Cyraxx gets Sally to call the cops to tell them he's being cyberbullied online, as if the cops could do anything. They can't. It's at this point that even the police, being familiar with the situation from the plethora of times they've already gone to their house for no good reason, start to show signs of being sick of dealing with Cyraxx. The report reads as follows: cyberbullying on internet by Marty. Today they received a package with rope in it, and he has been telling caller's 30-year-old son to take his own life. There were no threats and nothing to report. He was advised that if he does not want comments on his internet live stream, to block or ignore them. Nothing I was told today was a crime, and he had no information about the other guy involved. On the 5th of March, during a live streamed call with Marty, Tangerine Cat, and a fellow troll, Lava, Cyraxx is pushed to his breaking point and decides to destroy one of the gifts he received from Lava to upset her.
You're trying to interfere in my life, you fucking. Hey, Lava, I swear to God, if you don't stop, I swear to God, I will hunt you down and beat your fucking ass within an inch of your life. And that's not a joke. Hey, Lava.
We all know
hey,
that.
Lava, you better be lucky I don't know where you live. Otherwise, you're have to be 6 feet under. And same with you, Marty. I know where you live. I know where you live, Marty. So don't test me. You need to go. And now I've had it. No, I've had it with you two interfering in my life. I'm trying to live a good life with my. No, shut up. I am trying to live a good life with my fucking girlfriend, away from the drama, but you don't want to let that happen, and I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it.
Somebody said evil Cyraxx. What, bro? What is he doing, bruh?
Matter of fact, hey, Lava, see this?
No.
How do you like that, bitch? How do you like
he breaking a gift from her?
that?
Apparently, during his tirade with the ocarina, he made holes in his walls that
Cyraxx.
indefinitely continued to be visible whenever he recorded videos. But the bad news simply refused to stop coming. Marty breaks the story that Cyraxx has been taken to the hospital, and the doctors discovered he developed a fungal infection on his private part.
Cyraxx went to the emergency room for an infected weenie? That damn goonin', bruh. Bro done got his tip infected.
The cause of this might be the fact that he not only neglects to wash himself after he does the deed, but also does it multiple times a day, which results in chafing due to excess friction. I'm glad I can explain.
Yeah, exactly what I said. All that damn gooning, bruh.
Explain this to like however many people
And
are
he
watching
not even cleaning it, so he just gooning or with cheese he did, just ew.
this right now. Later on the same day, Cyraxx gets on Marty's stream to berate everyone for spreading the news about his sickly genitalia.
Hey, guys, what the fuck is your deal?
Whoa!
No, shut the fuck up, motherfucker. Hey, Marty, let me tell you right now, you ass little bitch ass nigga. You had no right doing what you did. None!
During the conversation about his medical issue, it's revealed that Cyraxx is unable to put the cream on and requires Sally to do it for him. This period It is marked by some interesting police reports. After a welfare check, which informed the police that Cyraxx was threatening people online, he was advised to stay out of chat rooms. Then, the police were told about Cyraxx confessing to what he did to Billy, but no one answered when they showed up to his door. After a mostly redacted welfare check, Sally herself calls the police as Cyraxx and Ed are fighting due to Cyraxx being uncooperative. After this call is made, Cyraxx randomly shows up during another Marty stream, this time with his mouth visibly bleeding, as he screams at everybody.
Let me tell all three of you motherfuckers right now, because of you three, I almost took my because of your.
As it turns out, he'd recently gotten into a fight with his stepfather Ed, and unlike when he's online, being aggressive and acting tough had very dire consequences. Soon after, Ed leaves due to Cyraxx's antics, which he blames on the trolls. After Tangerine Cat breaks up with him over him sending pictures of his wiener to multiple different fake girls, a new faux girlfriend comes forth by the name of Strawberry Sunshine, and Strawberry is taking no prisoners. Within a month of her work, she convinces Cyraxx to insert a stylus into himself. You'll have to take my word for this, since I obviously can't show it on screen, or you can look for it yourself and be eternally cursed. The decision to leak the stylus, she convinces Cyraxx to insert a stylus into himself.
What, bro?
You'll have to take my word for this, since I obviously can't show it on screen, or you can look for it yourself and be eternally cursed. The decision to leak the stylus incident was made based on the fact that, concomitantly with
type of stylus, it don't even matter, bruh. Stylus inside your ass, stylus inside the dick. What are we doing, bruh?
his relationship with Strawberry,
That's not really how he got infected, to be honest.
Cyraxx had recently sent nudes to a catfish who pretended to be a mentally challenged transgender person by the name of Cindy Lou. In classic Cyraxx form, his strategy to get back at his trolls is to start threatening to do something crazy. Hopefully that was clear enough to understand, but evidently Cyraxx was too scared to manipulate them with a real knife, so he just held a pen to his neck. And not just any pen, the accursed stylus. Props to whoever the girl is that played Strawberry for not laughing upon discovering it was just a pen. Just a day later, Cyraxx tries to do the pen routine yet again. On April 14th, he tries it yet again, culminating in Strawberry breaking up with him. 6 days later, a video comes out of our boy proudly sucking on that same stylus.
Man, this video can't be over anymore. Chat, 9 more minutes, bruh. It's just, bro, did you even really need to add this part to the vid, bruh?
As the shtick grows increasingly tiresome, the trolls decide to up the ante. One of the troll outlets mentioned a while ago, Masshole Report, decides to play the part to see if Cyraxx would bite. They presented themselves as Crystal and claimed to be suffering from bullying, and Cyraxx responded. As they chatted back and forth, Crystal sent a picture of herself, an adult decoy by the way, to which Cyraxx responded with compliments. Soon after, he declares his love for her, followed by him claiming that despite being 30, he looks like he's immediately after, sends a picture of his disco stick. It seems like the catfish didn't plan to get the picture so soon. I won't get into too much detail beyond this, but despite believing the person he's talking to, asks for indecent pictures repeatedly over the course of their conversation. After some time, probably after he told Sally what he was up to and she told him how it could get him into trouble, he expresses regret and ghosts Crystal. It's likely that Cyraxx sussed out that this was going to make its way into Marty's hands, so his tactics became much more frantic and desperate. This was no fluke either, as during her investigation, Kate, the person running this operation, discovered that Cyraxx had done the same thing in 2014 when he would have been 24. In another instance, which was eventually revealed, he was briefly together with a cameo he made in one of Marty's streams soon after the Crystal incident. Knowing that YouTube forbade any kind of nudity, he proceeded to flash the camera in an attempt to get Marty's account shut down. This is a tactic he came to employ multiple times after. After a few police reports about Cyraxx's online, Sally called the cops over a fake picture of someone holding a firearm outside their house. To make everything even more cursed, Cyraxx's dad, now free from prison, discovers that his son is a horror cow and appears on one of Marty's streams. It seems going to jail didn't fix him, since by searching his new name, Oangus Ravenwood, a Pinterest
saw a ghost. Bro, this man was literally just stroking it on the Zoom call. Like, what the f is wrong with him, bro? Trying to get somebody else banned? Nigga anywhere else to get somebody banned besides stroking it online? Like, what are you doing?
shows up with categories like feminized soccer boys are easy to convince and boys in dresses, containing multiple images of young boys in drag. When asked about it by Marty and Schmeckel, he claimed it was for trans kid awareness. Meanwhile, After years of being on the dark side, Cyraxx turns to Christianity to fix his situation, while posting a few spoken word poems playing the victim. I suppose, due to loyalty to people of his same proclivities, he goes back to being friends with Chuck Stiegel and defends him from the accusations. Around this time, we can see that Cyraxx has begun to frequently scratch his head, which we eventually learn is due to the bed bugs biting him. In exchange for the return of his PayPal account, Marty strikes a deal with Cyraxx that the two would meet up in real life in order to square their differences, and upon showing up to Cyraxx's house, Cyraxx once again hides in the attic. After revealing during a spat with the troll that over the course of his entire career, he's made a total of just under $6 from his music, we get this.
Chance Wilkins. What does that name sound so suspiciously familiar? Maybe because your screen name is Cyraxx? What do you mean?
Chris Hansen caught Cyraxx! Bro, there's no way Chris Hansen knows who Cyraxx is.
By Cyraxx. Chance. Chris Hansen here. Have a seat with Chris Hansen. I'm going to need you to have a seat right over there. Been going through some transcripts and I see some disturbing things on.
Oh my goodness, bro. Nah, this is insane.
You don't want to be the target of one of my investigations, Chance.
He then gets together and engaged, apparently, to a trans woman named Trisha and begins.
Wait, he got engaged to who?
He then gets together and engaged, apparently, to a trans woman named Trisha and begins defending her honor against trolls who are misgendering her. Cyraxx begins posting videos of himself training to fight Marty again, only to flake out a second time when Marty showed up, sending Ed and Sally down on his behalf instead. During the same stream, Cyraxx brings up a shooting that took place near his house in which a was injured and acts as if that event was actually the doing of Marty's goons who got the kid by mistake.
Oh hey, because of you and your little goons, little boy died today, bro. I know those bullets were meant for me.
In January 2022, he audibly fights with Sally over.
First thing first, RIP. That's not why I was giggling, bro. Cyraxx, nobody wants to harm you, bro. Nobody wants to shoot you, bro. Nobody wants to kill you, bro. They just want you to leave the internet, bro. Like how you turn a dying into a situation about you, bro. Like, bro, nobody cares about you that much, twin.
For his obsession with the internet in the background of one of his streams. It sounds like she's telling him to get a job while he claims that protecting his family is more important before bringing up some acquaintances of his who are in the hospital.
You heard Jadeon looking into Nova Online and Cyraxx? Bro, if Jadeon interviewed Cyraxx, bro, oh my goodness.
As if it was relevant to the situation. In February, he joins the Dark Side Phil Club, forgetting his stream is on while he does the deed. Despite nothing being visible, I'll do you the favor of not playing the footage of it because you get to hear some audio, besides the stream of Heather he's watching to relive the good time.
Wait, what? Audio what?
Hospital, as if it was relevant to the situation. In February, he joins the Dark Side Phil Club, forgetting his stream is on while he does the deed. Despite nothing being visible, I'll do you the favor of not playing the footage of it because you get to hear some audio, besides. Due to another attempt from Cyraxx to stay away from the internet, Marty successfully draws him back out by pretending that Cyraxx has passed away and has been replaced by an AI, namely AI-Rax. Around the same time, another fake girlfriend by the name of Gothy becomes active, telling Cyraxx that he's losing money because of Marty and saying PBS would do a documentary on him. During mid to late April, Cyraxx's house is raided by police and he greatly embellished it to make it seem like he was in way more danger than he actually was.
But little to our surprise did we know that there would be 10 cops outside with guns pointed at me.
Hey, just go ahead and stand up. Keep your hands up where we can see him.
In actuality, they just pointed a flashlight at him and asked him some questions. It wasn't a real raid. A month later, he audibly poops himself on stream. A lot of people are going to pass judgment, but can you blame him? It was storming out. In June, he posts a video fake crying and playing victim, and in the same breath, he threatens to hurt people and potentially police officers as well.
So help me God, if you cops don't do something about this, I will. And trust me when I say, the end result isn't going to be pretty. People will get hurt.
He neglects to mention that the people going to his house are people he has time and time again invited over so that he could beat their ass. In October, Cyraxx's infamy grew to a point where Danny Brown, a pretty popular rapper, expresses not only his awareness of Cyraxx's story, but active interest in it as a follower.
We just find like certain people on the internet to quit, and now we got this new guy. His name is Cyraxx. He's like he's a little touched, little fucked up guy, and he's from Ohio.
More like rotten man, nah, facts.
Say the least. With him all the time. Like he was like live streaming. We just all in his chat. He wants to be a rapper. He wants to be he always come up with something new. But I would say the funniest thing we did was that it got to the point like we'll with him so much he'd delete his accounts and shit. Be like, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. And you know, then he always come back in like a week or something and we'd be geek. But one time he like I'm not doing this no more. Y'all ruining my life. I'm not coming back to YouTube. I'm not coming back. So then he left and he was gone for like a month. Then we all bored. We all in a Discord like, how can we get him back?
Approach Cyraxx, Lol Cow Critical Mass, the one and only Chris Chan, Liquid Chris. Approaching Lol Cow Critical Mass, the one and only Chris Chan, Liquid Chris, decides to chime into Cyraxx's story.
The main purpose of this,
Alright, bro, I know this is an even deeper rabbit hole, bro. We gonna get into him sometime this year, bro. But the Chris Chan lore I heard is diabolical. I don't know what this is about, but
videos to call out a certain troll who is trying to impersonate me. His name is Cyraxx, and I have gotten good word from my special gal pals that this imposter has been doing this for quite some time now. I even have a screenshot of a video.
The next Chris Chan? Oh my goodness. Bro, nah. Liquid Chris is fake, pretending to be Chris Chan.
Made on.
Oh wait. Cyraxx is calling himself Liquid Chris? Wait, Liquid Chris is the troll that messes with Chris Chan? Oh.
Him.
He's correct in defending his image and reputation because, indeed, Cyraxx is copying Chris Chan. Eventually, Chance's Facebook gets hacked, for real this time, and a video is uncovered in which he's seen licking his, I think we know. And
this is what y'all was talking about, bruh? Look at his what? His what?
December, Cyraxx seems to have gotten physical with Ed once again, and a little while later claims
He really licked his own dick? No, wait. I know y'all was talking about that earlier. Yes? Oh my god. I thought y'all was just trolling earlier, bruh. Bro, did I ban somebody for saying that? And Chris Chan gets so much worse? Wait, gets so much in a hissy fit. No way he did that, bruh.
Developed stress-related eczema that caused his feet to swell up and eventually become a full-on leg infection. In early 2023, Cyraxx gets tricked into breaking his Xbox by inserting a contaminated USB stick into it, and then Marty convinces him tricked into breaking his Xbox by inserting a contaminated USB stick into it, and then Marty convinces him to do a little dance in order to get his Xbox working again. Things start to look grim for Cyraxx, who is now under threat of lawsuit from Danny Brown after accusing Danny multiple times of being. Sensing he has very little to lose at this point, he goads Marty into coming to Akron to fight him, and lo and behold, the fight does take place.
Get the fuck out of here. Who's the king?
Despite this, immediately after getting beat up, he starts streaming, bragging about having at least showed up, demonstrating
Hold on, wait. I know he almost done, bruh. But yo, who was screaming?
Marty into coming to Akron to fight him, and lo and behold, the fight does take place.
You're not so big and bad, are you now, Cyraxx? Where's that flickering flashlight, bro? Where them demons at that you was talking about, bruh? The king of Akron. But hell nah.
Get the fuck out of here. Who's the king?
Despite
who's the king?
This, immediately after getting beat up, he starts streaming, bragging about having at least showed up, demonstrating he was still as adamant as ever. Eventually, the two stream again, and Cyraxx tries to claim Marty almost simultaneously, trying to act unfazed. Afterwards, he tries to compete against Marty in a more familiar territory, racing. Him and Marty go for 2 matches, with each winning one. However, it's discovered that Cyraxx was using auto race during his victory, but as a 3rd match was being set up to finally settle the score, Cyraxx goes missing in action. As 2023 progresses, Cyraxx begins dating and breaks up with another girl, Jasmine. Upon their separation, she talks to Marty and reveals that Cyraxx likes to pop bed bugs and sniff them, allows mice to live in his room, and lets roaches crawl on his plate as he eats. Months later, Cyraxx reveals the Wilkinses are potentially faced with eviction and need money in order to keep their house. Then a troll visits Cyraxx and proceeds to get assaulted by him with a bat. He gets arrested for it, but is soon bonded out. And that pretty much brings us to the present. How the tale of Cyraxx will unfold next is truly unknowable, but it's hard to believe it'll get better anytime soon. Unless he gets seriously institutionalized, we can expect more of the same for the rest of his days on this earth.
Why they calling his MF Goon, bruh.
As much as Cyraxx never wins any exchange against his trolls, there's also no winning against him, and the struggle is in his favor because ultimately he doesn't even care about winning.
WVN, bruh. Yo, YouTube, if there's anybody else y'all want me to do a deep dive into their lore, bruh, let me know, bruh. But until next time, it's your boy King Zay, signing out, man. Peace!